Whoa! Hello and welcome to the 1v1 show where nerd and pop culture class. I'm your host, but you can call me Mikey. And as always, joining me every week here on the 1v1 show at 11 a.m. PST is Geo. And who will be joining me right. Well, is the camera not on? Oh,
No,
hold
my
up, what's
camera.
going on? Oh, okay. Technical difficulties, oh god.
You want me to turn off and turn on my camera?
Hold up. Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let me do that real quick.
Wait, did he turn off the camera after
No.
we?
No, it's on. The light is on, showing that it's off. Hold on. Let me do this real quick.
Still got that fearful internet. It says my name is Earl.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
That's weird. I clicked the turn off button and it never turned off, but it
Okay, well,
whatever. We're here. we are here. So what up, Mikey? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 1v1 show. This is the place where nerd culture and pop culture clash. Now, we have some changes up in the format for today. Now, what that means is for y'all, you will have, I wouldn't say a vastly different show, but a different show nonetheless. And we're doing less topics, but in order to kind of balance that out, we are going to be doing more discussion. So we've been listening to kind of feedback from different sources and different people saying, hey, we like what we're doing. We like what you do with the show, but we feel like you need more time for more banter, more discussion, so you can really get more into the topics, so we can you all can hear our thoughts on certain things. And that's what we're doing. So instead of 20 topics, subtopics, we are going to be doing 10 subtopics. So the regular format of the show pretty much stays the same. Right? We're having kind of the subtopics where we kind of give you the quick hits, quick short bursts of smaller stories. And instead of 2 minutes each, we're now giving you 5 minutes for each subtopic, but we're only doing 10 of them. And then we move on into the main topics where we give you more of the deep dive. And for today, a quick spoiler for later on in the show, we're doing 2 movie reviews. One for the Suicide Squad and the other one for Jungle Cruise. And what do we think of these movies? Are they both good? Are they both bad? Are we 50-50? Tune in and find out. Where is my pop-in thing? Hold on. My thing just glitched out on me again. All right. Sorry. No, my Discord was messing up. Anyways, right? Like always, if you are watching us live, you can go into our you can check us out on our socials, which let me put it in chat right now. 1v1. Wow. Wait, did I do that wrong? I did do it wrong.
Yeah, you did. You did it like reverse.
Oh, hold on. Let me do it again.
AJ could do it, but okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It's like that's literally what he does.
Anyways, you can check us out if you like what we're doing here on the show. You can check out our socials, our YouTube, our Instagram, our Twitter, and our Patreon. If you want to support us on Patreon, you can throw us a couple quick bucks, where you can check out the perks that we have if you want to support us, if you like what we're doing. Also, our YouTube. I would like to ask, please, if you could all go into our YouTube and subscribe to us. It would really help us out. If we get 100 subscribers, we will be able to get a custom URL, which would allow us to really promote our YouTube, post links everywhere, and allow us to grow, because I know a lot of people can't watch us live, and there are some people who just don't like Twitch. So if you do that, it'll help us get into our help us really grow and get our YouTube out there as well. What up, Mikey?
Yo, what up?
Yo, what's good, dog?
Oh, hold up. But yeah, I was no, I'm going off for like 3 hours of sleep because I was jamming last night. It was pretty fun, and I just couldn't sleep because I don't know. And also, I stayed up to watch Suicide Squad, which we'll be talking about later, and it was pretty funny. And yeah, what about you?
I mean, I watched Jungle Cruise last night, and I think it ended. That's all. We'll talk about more, but I ended up watching it till about 11:30. But other than that, this week's been cool. Hey, you remember last week how we went to round one for the arcade? We had a bit of an IRL stream.
Yeah.
I went back actually right after the show last week, and I spent way too much money at that place. Way
Like
too
how
much money. Like easily over 200.
Did you get stuff?
Just on. Yeah, I got here. Let me show you the coolest thing I got. Actually, let me show you. This is actually pretty sick. I got this Goku figure.
How much did you spend at the arcade to get that,
Well,
or was that tickets?
I got this. This one, it didn't take me that long to get. I also got like this Chi-Chi figure, and it actually kind of matches because it's young Goku and young Chi-Chi. And then I got another Demon Slayer figure.
Wow.
And then I also got, I think the one that I think took me the most, and it was a struggle to get it, right? Actually, but this is actually the dopest one I think out of all the ones that I got, right? Is this Sailor Moon figure right here.
Oh,
This one was hard to get. This one it took me at least like, I want to say like $60 to $100.
That's a $100 figure right there.
Yeah, people were really clamoring on the machine that it was on, and you had to be like, the trick to those crane games is you got to snipe people and get it to where they almost got the prize, but they run out of money, and you just jump in and you get it. So
like how we did it.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. Let's move into the show. What's the first topic, Mikey?
Well, why don't you tell me, because it sounds pretty bitchin'. Right, you?
Give it to me, babe. Yeah, they're making a Rick James documentary. Did you hear about this?
No. Tell me more.
All right, so Showtime is making a Rick James documentary. It's called Bitchin', The Sound and Fury of Rick James, and it's directed by Emmy nominee Sasha Jenkins. Do you know who this is?
No,
Sasha
I don't.
Jenkins?
Who's that?
I know who Barry Jenkins is, but I've never heard of this Sasha Jenkins. But I'm guessing they do a lot of TV since they were Emmy nominated, and you know me, I don't really watch a lot of TV. But I will watch this because Rick James, I think you and me both, and anyone from our kind of generation, anyone I want to say from ages 28 to about, let's say 30.
Anyone who's seen the Chappelle Show.
35, like, because if you're from kind of our generation, you grew up with Chappelle Show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the biggest skits was the Rick James skits, where Dave Chappelle dresses up as Rick James and he recreates stories told by Charlie Murphy, who is the brother of Eddie Murphy. R.I.P. Charlie Murphy. Be gone too soon. That guy is also hilarious. But when they go into kind of how Rick James is actually a really important figure to kind of the black music history, and to where in the documentary he talks about how in an interview says, black people were kind of relegated to kind of a certain style of music or a certain image, and Rick James is like, I'm about that raw, I'm about that gushy stuff. And even in the doc, like one of the quotes is, I want to talk about smoking weed. I want to be raw. I want to, I don't like Richard Nixon. I want to call him an asshole. And it's one of those things that kind of shows you kind of how important this man was kind of during that time and during that period. Because Rick James, if it wasn't for Chappelle's Show, I feel like we wouldn't really know him or kind of the impact that he had.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It wouldn't make people like around our generation kind of look into him because we, a fairly good amount of us know Give It to Me or Super Freak or Mary Jane. Those are kind of like the big hits from him, but we wouldn't really go into how important he was. Let's see. My name is Earl says, do you think they will cover Rick James' sex, dungeon, and subsequent prison sentences? Yeah, actually they do. In the trailer, if you watch the trailer, it kind of talks about his controversial life and his drug use and how he even admitted to spending $7,000 a week on cocaine, kidnapping and assault charges that almost put him away for life. And even when him and his girlfriend at the time, they held 2 women against their will, forcing them to perform sex acts, beating them, and burning them with the hot end of a crack pipe. So it does show you kind of like the importance of him and kind of how much of a scumbag he was. And not to say that, people in the video are kind of covering for him, but there is a scene where someone says that, that was the demon in him. That was the drug use. That was the, alcoholism that kind of led him to doing these kind of really malicious things. I mean, he was convicted for 5 years in California's Folsom State Prison, but he only served 2. But it's one of those things where we look at the man, and I think people have forgiven him, or not, maybe not forgiven him, but we don't really hold it super against him, because at the end of the day, I think people still look at Rick James as a beloved figure, even though we haven't forgotten what he's done and the abuse he's created. I mean, what do you think, Mikey? Are you going to check out this doc?
Yeah, because honestly, my only exposure to Rick James is the Chappelle skit and the Super Freakin', like those classic songs. And I didn't really know about his history until after that skit and learning about who Rick James was. I was like, oh shit, like he's about that life. $7,000 a week on cocaine. That's a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, that's a lot of cocaine. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude was a rock star for all like the good and bad, like of being kind of in that lifestyle. It was crazy.
Well, I mean, Super Bass in the chat says, well, I mean, as long as you made some bits in music, you could totally get away with kind of being a total degenerate. Yeah.
Unless you're R. Kelly. I don't think anyone will forgive R. Kelly ever. I think that guy is taboo forever.
Yeah, no. Every time I think of R. Kelly, I think of Chappelle. It's like, drip, drip, drip. Anyways,
like I said, I mean, Rick James, he did end up paying for his crime and all the heinous things that he did, right? But speaking of people that need to pay for heinous things that need to be done, what's up with Activision? I mean, we've been talking about them a lot.
Yeah, so we returned to a company that is so nice that they got sued twice. Activision Blizzard is back in the news with Kotaku reporting that the game developer now faces a class action lawsuit in the U.S. District Court of Central California. In the lawsuit, investors claim that Activision Blizzard's intentional failure to disclose its ongoing problems with its sexual harassment and discrimination artificially inflated the company's stock value. So these investors are essentially saying, yo, if we knew your company was crap, we would never have given you money in the first place. So anyone who has traded in Activision Blizzard securities between August 4th of 2016 and July 27th of this year is potentially covered by the class action lawsuit, which names CEO Bobby Kotick, with current CFO Dennis Durkin and former CFO Spencer Newman and Activision Blizzard as a whole as defendants. Of particular interest are Activision Blizzard's SOX certification signed by Kotick and Durkin. But where's the SOX certification, you ask? Well, it obviously refers to the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, which is a piece of legislation designed to protect the public from erroneous and fraudulent activities by publicly traded companies. So, these companies are required to release an annual SOX certification, disclosing any potential legal issues, investigations, audits, or other procedures that could affect the value of the business. So yeah, Activision Blizzard's leadership would have at least been aware of the accusations of discrimination and sexual harassment within their company, and their failure to disclose this information constitutes the foundation of this new lawsuit. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on this, Gio? Because my hot take is that the state of California should take over Activision Blizzard after it's made insolvent by the lawsuits and bankruptcy. So, nationalize the gaming industry, yeah.
Honestly, yeah. So I don't disagree with that take. Let me read a couple things in the chat. Superbase said, "Do you think that's gonna f up Diablo 2's Resurrected release?" Probably. I mean, I think the game will still come out, but I think as far as sales go, I think there are definitely a large group of people that have swore off Activision Blizzard because of this. But I think equally there's just a large group of people that don't know about this or they don't care, right? Because when it comes to kind of news like this, I think we often forget that this is kind of a niche kind of news thing. Like, not everyone is following what's going on with Activision Blizzard. Not everyone's going onto your IGNs or your Kotakus. And yeah, it's on CNN as well, but honestly, like, not a lot of people watch the news. And when it comes to video games, a lot of them are younger people who they get their news from Twitter, Instagram, or any other social media. They're not going to know about this, so they're going to still buy Diablo. They're still going to play it. But I think the ramifications, in my opinion, I think that Bobby Kotick needs to go. I think they need to get rid of him because he's known about this. Like, any CEO that says that they don't know about this, I think it's completely bull. It's got to be. I think he's seen this. I think he knew about it and he tried to keep it under wraps. And I think Bobby Kotick should be fired. I think he needs to get out.
Speaking of getting fired, the head of HR at Blizzard got fired, and so did actually he didn't get fired. The Blizzard president, J. Allen Brack, he stepped down, and Blizzard are obviously feeling the effects of this lawsuit because Coca-Cola and other sponsors are pulling out of the Overwatch lead.
Yeah, I mean that's how you really stick it to like one of these big companies. You get it so that the sponsors are backing out. Now the investors are mad. Honestly, I think there is going to be a change. Is it going to be a big change? I don't know. I'm not really one to know about that. But once you start, pulling at the pocketbooks, and you start getting investors mad and sponsors mad, that's when it's like, okay, like now they're going to be feeling the pressure. As far as like J. Allen Brack, though, when you hear about these CEOs stepping down, I mean, you got to look at a couple things, right? Like, are they getting like a severance package that's worth like more money than you and me will ever make? Are they going to be still getting bonuses? Like, what is the deal? Were they forced out? Were they, asked to step away, or did they step down on their own accord? There's a lot of questions. It's just a mess.
Yeah, do you think this the beginning of the end for Activision Blizzard, or you think they will be a changed company, but not as they were before, if you know what I mean?
I would say I would say that for me personally, my opinion is that I think this is kind of the beginning of Activision kind of taking over more of Blizzard, because even though they were kind of together, they kind of ran their own operations separately. But with uh, J. Allen Brack being stepped down, now I think that gives whoever's in charge of Activision more kind of power over what's going on at Blizzard. For Zombie Bait 90 in the chat says, Fran Townsend, current executive vice president of corporate affairs for Activision Blizzard, deleted her Twitter after posting an article denouncing whistleblowing. Isn't that the same lady that we talked about last week that also used to work for Homeland Security that had like no experience working in the video games industry at all?
Oh wait, is it? Yep.
I
It is.
believe
Zombie
so.
Base says yep.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Exactly. And he's like, oh, huh. Why would Activision Blizzard hire someone like that to be on their executive board or on one of their executive positions? Obviously, because they knew something was coming up.
Yeah.
They knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll probably be following this story throughout the weeks, giving you updates throughout.
Sure,
But
more will happen.
yeah, because it seems like it's just getting started. It feels like it seems like everyone or not everyone, but like a lot of people are speaking up about this and bring up issues with their company. Anyways, but I don't know how to segue into this next topic, but it's apparently Geo claims this is the best superhero of all comics, and he's going to tell us all about it. What's going on with this DC Comics film, Geo, and who is it?
All right. Hold on. Let me grab something real quick from the side from my desk of figures. Let me show you who this is, and I can. Okay. So this, my friend, is
Wait.
the Blue Beetle, who is my personal favorite superhero in all of, I want to say, DC, Marvel, and other imprints. I love Blue Beetle. Now, to kind of lure you up, Mikey, because I know you're not really big on DC characters, and the
Nope.
most you've probably heard of this character is from
From you.
talking to me about it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. I love Blue Beetle. There actually been three incarnations of the Blue Beetle. First one, Dan Garrett, who had this kind of scarab power that kind of allowed him to have like a little bit of super strength and stuff like that. We move on to, he wasn't really used that much. Next, we move on to Ted Cord, right? Ted Cord was kind of the billionaire genius who had kind of all this tech. He wasn't able to get the superpowers from the Scarab, but he was also the basis for the character Night Owl from Watchmen, right?
Mm.
We'll actually be talking about kind of Watchmen a little bit later as well and connecting it to the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
But when you think of kind of a lot of the older characters from DC that were actually bought from Charleston Comics, they were the basis for the Watchmen character. And so therefore Night Owl and Blue Beetle were kind of the same. He ends up dying, in the comic series, and is one of those comic book characters that he stays dead, right? Because the joke is in comic book characters, we've seen characters die,
Mm-hmm.
but they always come back to life. Not Ted Cord. Ted Cord has stayed dead. I think they actually brought him back, but they killed him off again. But for the most part, we're not going to go into super big like DC comic lore because that'll just be a lot. But enter Jaime Reyes, who is the teenage Mexican American from, I believe, El Paso, Texas, who inherits the Scarab from Ted Cord and actually gets the kind of all superpowers, which gives him the kind of the suit that you wear there. See the wings and the suit and the kind of blaster arms. It gives him kind of this alien suit. Think of like
Mm.
Iron Man wearing alien tech that looks like a bug.
I mean,
If that
like,
makes
isn't that right there on the screen?
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Right. So they have said that HBO Max is coming up with a Blue Beetle movie as well as part of their HBO Max kind of mid-tier superhero movies,
Mm-hmm.
and they've decided to make one for Blue Beetle, and they are listing up this guy Zolo Maridueña to be Jaime Reyes, who is mostly known for being Miguel in Cobra Kai. Now, have you watched Cobra Kai, Mikey?
No, I have, but I've been hearing really good things about it.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it. I heard good things about it, but I watched clips of this guy or this kid. I don't know how old he is. He's got to be in his early 20s,
Mm.
and I'm not impressed, right?
Why?
Because for me personally, I think Jaime Reyes as a character, he's a little bit more of kind of a dweeby, like dorky kid, and this guy Zolo Maridueña, he seems to be really like, how do I explain this? He's the type of kid that I would see, wearing a Supreme shirt, hanging out and going, sheesh,
Mm.
sheesh. The type, you know what I'm talking about?
I know, but do other people?
He seems to be forcing his cool upon people, something that I would never do. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I maybe it was the writing of Cobra Kai, because I know it's Cobra Kai. If for those of you who don't know, it's kind of a sequel to the Karate Kid,
It is a sequel.
and it might be a little bit of kind of the writing of, we're going for kind of the 80s, kind of a TV show where it's a little over dramatic, kind of going off the tone of the Karate Kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that just might be more on that than on the actor himself. I mean, people love the show. Maybe I just because I haven't watched full episodes of the show. I've just seen the clips of his acting, kind of compilations of his scenes, and kind of when looking over the kind of researching
Wait,
this
so
role. But we'll
wait,
see. What's up?
is a Blue Beetle on the same tier as Shazam?
As far as kind of strength or his popularity, what are you asking about?
Popularity, I guess.
No, because Shazam has a history,
Okay,
and
I
Blue
wouldn't know.
Beetle Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle has come around in like the early 2000s. No, I believe early to late in the 2000s. Shazam has been going on for years and years and years.
Hmm.
He was actually created as kind of a Superman clone by a rival company, and when DC bought that company, they got the rights to
Okay,
Shazam or Captain Marvel as he used to be,
okay,
right?
because
So
I didn't hear about Shazam until the movie was created, and so I just assumed
wait,
they're
really?
like, yeah, I'm not a DC guy.
God damn, I didn't know you didn't know that much about DC.
I mean,
Granted, maybe I'm just speaking because I'm a big DC head, but I thought like hella people knew about Shazam.
no, and I thought hell people watched Lord of the Rings, but apparently
Okay,
they didn't.
okay, okay. Fair point. Fair point. We'll get into that into that later. But we're going on from superhero worlds to worlds that you can discover on your own through virtual reality. Hey, tell me about the PSVR, Mikey.
So, the PSVR 2 details got leaked because a popular YouTuber named PSVR Without Parole claims to have the dirt on the details. According to the YouTuber, Sony's next offering to the world of VR is codenamed NGVR. Not PSVR 2, but NGVR, which stands for Next Generation VR. It was reportedly seen at a private conference for prospective VR devs, like developers, and they boast a resolution of 2000 by 2040 per eye, which is it's really high resolution. And the YouTuber further claimed that the next gen VR will utilize OLED display technology and support high dynamic range (HDR), potentially giving it a lot more vibrancy, deeper blacks, and greater brightness than the Oculus Quest 2's more typical non-HDR LCD display. So, you ask, how does an OLED display works? Well, it works without a backlight because it emits visible light. That's what makes the images on it appear deeper and much more vibrant than your average LCD display. And additionally, which is this is the most crazy part, the eye tracking capability. So like wherever you look, it will render the direction of where you're looking at. So it doesn't render the entire image all at once, only where you're looking at. And so like that's so cool. And 110-degree field of vision, more you can see more because in the current PSVR, it's kind of like you get the goggle effect and haptic feedback in the headset to mitigate motion sickness. So the reason people get motion sickness in PSVR is because when they're inside the virtual world, their brain isn't registering their movements because they're just standing still. But with the haptic feedback in the headset, it'll give you the sense of movement in the VR virtual world or whatever you're at, and so it can mitigate the sickness. So I'm kind of sensitive to the motion sickness, but I power through it, and I only play for like 2 hours at a time. Otherwise, I get sick. I think with this haptic feedback in the headset, it make people. I think a lot of people will be able to enjoy VR without getting sick. And as for what kind of games you can look forward to on the next gen PSVR, Sony is actually looking to move away from the so-called VR experiences. Like pretending you're Batman for 90 minutes, standing around, looking around, being a detective, or swimming with a whale for 10 minutes in favor of greater focus on AAA games. Meaning they want AAA titles that can be played in flat and VR. And that's super exciting because they pretty much did that with Hitman 3. You can play that both with the controller on a TV or be the Hitman yourself. And so I think that's so exciting. And then I think with they're showing Returnal as one of the AAA titles that could be in VR, and I was like, yo, Returnal in VR would be amazing. What do you think about this, Gio?
I mean, I think we're just moving forward to a future where Ready Player One is something that's real.
Yeah, and there's already a haptic feedback vest where you can like feel rumble, or like if you get shot. Because I remember I went to a CES convention in Vegas, and they had a
Yeah.
haptic feedback vest for the game Crisis, and I wore the vest, and I'm not a PC gamer, so I got lit up, and I was getting like, it felt real, and imagining that with that and a VR headset, yo, Ready Player One is not too far off. I'm there.
Yeah. I think also, I mean, imagine, I mean, in a sense, right? If we can combine Fortnite with kind of virtual reality, that's essentially Ready Player One because of all the crossovers in that game. You can be Batman, you can be the Predator, you can be. It's essentially we're moving towards that future.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never played the PSVR but I wanted to, and I think I will buy the second one. The reason why I haven't bit on the first one yet is because when I got the money to buy it, I heard news of the next one's coming out in like a year or two, and I was like, all right, I'll just wait to get the better one, especially since they are moving more towards actual like full length games and away from just the experiences. So
Oh,
yeah,
and where we just download only what you need. If you're a PSVR 2 player, you can download when you download a game, it won't download the entire thing like a Call of Duty, which is like 100 gigabytes. It only downloads the specific portion that you're playing on. Like if you want to play VR, you'll only download the VR version for the headset, and that's it. But if you want to play the flat 2D on a TV, you'll only download that part too. And so, yeah, I think they're trying to make it easier for people to jump on the VR hype train. And I
nice,
think it's worth it to jump on.
nice, nice, nice.
But yeah, so yeah, you can fight or become your heroes in Fortnite and all that. But what if there are no more heroes? Right, Gio? What happens?
All right. So, Mikey, I'm assuming that you've never heard of this game.
No, this is actually second time I'm hearing about it because we just talked about it right before we went live, and I was like, I had never heard about it. Tell me about it on the
All
show.
right.
And yeah, what is this?
All right. So, No More Heroes is the kind of the baby of game director creator Suda51, and it tells the story of Travis Touchdown, who is an otaku, and it kind of Travis Touchdown is the type of guy that he likes to just chill at home, and he's kind of a degenerate, and he watches anime about moe animes, and we talked about this before the show.
What's
You don't
moe
know what moe
anime?
anime is.
Yeah.
Exactly. The moe anime is things like K-On! And actually you wouldn't know any examples, but think of it as anime where you kind of just watch young girls just hanging out and doing their thing. And there's also kind of a subgenre of moe, which is like magical girl stuff. Anyways, I'm going too much into like anime like weebiness, but like in the game Travis Touchdown, he always has like pictures of like magical girls on his walls, and it's kind of funny because he's also an assassin who has a beam katana that he uses to kind of fight other assassins from the United Assassins Association and kill them in order to move up the ranks in order to become the number one assassin. The game came out in 2007, and it is pretty much Suda51's like most known series. Now, if you don't know who Suda51 is, if I were to compare him to a filmmaker, I would say he's kind of like James Gunn,
Oh, okay.
and the fact that you before Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn was kind of known for being like campy and shocking and kind of gross out stuff, right? Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Suda51 is he's kind of that way. He's kind of like James Gunn with like Kojima convoluted plots. I think that's the best way I
Interesting.
can
Okay. But
explain
with a
him.
group of
Right?
innocent girls.
Well, that's just kind of the character that Travis Touchdown. That's just kind of he's
Mm.
kind of like your typical like really like neat otaku degenerate type that watches
Okay.
like magic girl anime. Anyways, so the first games came out in 2007, and it's kind of known for kind of being one of the first games to kind of use the Wii Motion Plus. Do you remember the Wiimote?
Yeah, I remember the Wiimote.
So in
Revolutionary.
the game, right? So you use your beam katana, you use the kind of the Wiimote to attack enemies and stuff like that. And it was kind of it was known for being a mature title that was exclusive to the Wii, and it was kind of big back then because Nintendo wasn't known for having mature titles. Even your beam katana, you have to charge it up in game, so you have to shake it like this. And the implications. That's what
Okay.
the game was going for. They had like the game is crazy. The boss fights are great. Even one of the coolest things I remember is the Wiimote had a not a microphone. It had a speaker in it.
Wait.
So there's
So
go on.
they had a Nintendo game where you had to go this?
Yeah,
Interesting. All right.
yeah. The Super 51's just a madman. But
Wait, is it
in the
targeted to like
game,
teens or like
yeah, it's
everyone?
for like teen. It was mature. It was a mature
Oh,
title.
okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Mature. Yeah. Okay. I was like
So it was.
checking off on in a Nintendo game. That's
Is
interesting.
So they're coming out with the third game, which has come off, I want to say, more than 10 years after the release of the second one, which was No More Heroes Desperate Struggle. And in this game, you are fighting aliens who have come down to Earth bent for conquest. And Suda51 in his interview had said that each one of these assassins is a Thanos level threat. So
Oh
your
shit.
job your job as Travis Touchdown is you're gonna go down there and pretty much get rid of these aliens to prevent the world from certain doom. The game comes out August 27th. They just released a new trailer, kind of showing off the story and the gameplay and the blood and just kind of the tone of the game, and it
Yeah.
is nuts. Fun fact: I know I compared him to James Gunn, but one of Suda51's earlier games, Lollipop Chainsaw, was actually a collaboration with him and James Gunn.
Oh shit.
So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So
exactly.
they had the same sensibilities.
Exactly.
Similar, I
I
should say.
I wouldn't say like most of his games are like really like big hits or really critically acclaimed, but they are for the most part. Most of them are kind of cult classics, and they're really known for kind of their big, convoluted, crazy plots, but as well as unique gameplay styles and just kind of the ideas that put in there. They put Suda51 as someone that he is like a Kojima, where if you can just say his name and you can, if you know about him, you know exactly what kind of game you're getting into.
Okay. Super Bass in the
So
chat says it's a kooky game, but if you enjoy that kind of genre, it's wonderful.
it's definitely not for everyone, but I feel like No More Heroes is definitely up my alley, and it definitely speaks to a certain audience. And I hope people check them out because they did re-release the first two for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, but do you need to play those first two to understand or to get three? Understand three? Or is three
I
can be
wouldn't.
standalone?
I honestly couldn't tell you without playing the game,
Well,
but
is two standalone?
you could play two standalone, I would say, because kind of the plots are so convoluted. All you need to know is that you're an assassin and you have to kill the other guys anyway.
Okay.
And it kind of goes on from there. But anyways, we go from a place of no more heroes to a place that has, due to Avengers Campus, a bunch of heroes. Tell me about what's going on with Disneyland, Mikey.
So they finally announced their annual pass replacement, due to COVID. I think they're planning on doing this anyway. But I think it was Sir Walter Raleigh who said, "Keys open doors. Keys open doors." Well, Disney has phased out its annual pass program in favor of its new Magic Key. Like the annual pass before it, the Magic Key will consist of tiers, basic levels of access that entitle the guest to discounts on food, beverages, parking, and merchandise. The Magic Key will also allow Disney patrons to hold multiple reservations at different parks, meaning like you want to hold your get a fast pass for certain rides in different separate parks, and which is how many reservations being determined by the level of your key. And these levels are the Imagine Key, which is only available for SoCal. So, anyways, next key is the Enchant Key. which is $650. We get $10 off select merchandise and $10 off of food. And there's a Believe key, which is about $1,000, where you can have 6 park reservations. You can make 6 or have 6 fast passes, I guess. And 50% off parking though, so that's actually a decent deal. And then the most expensive one, the Dream Key, which is $1,400, but you get 20% off of select merchandise, 50% off of food and beverage, and absolutely free parking. But for all California residents, you need to put a down payment of $180, and then they'll give you payment plans from $40 to a month to $100 a month to pay off your Magic Key Disneyland season pass. So, as someone who used to go to Disneyland multiple times a year, every year, but stopped in the past maybe let's say 10 years, because these annual passes used to be under $200, but now the price increases are getting astronomical, and it's not really worth it if you're only going to go maybe once a year or twice. So I don't know who's Disney targeting, like the target audience for with this price range, and we're gonna get a little bit more into that later on. But yeah, would you be getting this too?
Look, man, let me tell you like this, right? Whoever thought of these ideas of having tiered annual passes for theme parks, I I hate them as a person because it just makes things too expensive and makes
Mhm.
things too. Oh snap! My laptop's about to die. What the heck? I thought I plugged it in. Hold on. Ah,
It might be
ah.
this might be a one-man show
Okay, I'm
soon.
back.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. So, I don't know what happened. I guess when I plugged it in, it was like kind of tripping out, and I didn't push it all the way in. All right,
Mm,
so I think whoever came up with this tiered passes, it's just it's just greediness, from these big corporations because they know they can charge whatever they want for things like Disneyland, and people are still going to go.
mhm,
I don't like this. I don't like these plans. I'm probably not going to get them because I don't go to SoCal or Disneyland enough to justify it. And
mhm.
it just kind of just seems like a way for them to be like, okay, we're gonna come up with these things and we'll give you, 10% off, food and beverage. But when they're charging $14 for a churro to begin with, what good is that? Right?
Yeah,
I don't
and
know. Are you gonna get this, Mikey?
no, the only reason that would be enticing for me to get this is because, like Super Based in the chat says, I can't stand the lines. Totally ruins the experience. Yeah, 50. I would say roughly 50% of your time in Disneyland, if you want to be super efficient, will be spent waiting in lines for the rides. If you don't have a fast pass, but if you, I guess you get the payout $1,400. You can reserve up to 6 fast passes. I'm assuming that's what they are, and you can really streamline your experience there. But for that much, though, I don't know. I feel like
No,
for people to justify paying it, like you have to go at least 4 times. Not even like maybe
yeah,
way more than that, because like you're just paying
probably
for the
more.
ticket. That's just admission. You're not. That doesn't account for all the food, all the souvenirs, and yeah, all that stuff that you want to buy. Ark in the Wag says, I
Ark in the
think Disney
Wagon.
has successfully weaponized people's nostalgia. They can charge whatever they want. Yeah, that is really true.
That's true. They can. Like Disney knows they can charge as much as they want, and people will still go. Like there's no stopping it.
yeah, and now because of that, there's I found out there's a stigma against this thing concept called Disney adults. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, where people make fun of people who love Disney and go to the theme parks who are like
Yeah,
over like the age. Uh, I think those are just haters. And
same.
where I come from, we call them draft turkeys.
Yeah. But yeah. So I'll probably maybe go to Disneyland maybe every other year at this rate, because the way the prices for like just a single day pass, I mean it's still around $100, but it's been slowly increasing in the past 10 years. And yeah. But anyway, so we go from the happiest place on earth, as Disney would like to call it, to the second happiest place on earth in Colorado, which is a place called South Park. Gio, what is happening with South Park?
Oh, they got friendly faces everywhere. Stuff like that. We're going down to South Park to have ourselves a good old time. All right. Quick question for Mikey and the chat. Right? How much do you think that the South Park IP is worth?
I guess a whole. I would say maybe about just putting on spitballing 500 million.
Those are rookie numbers, son. You got to pump them numbers up.
So how much?
Matt Stone and Trey Parker made a deal with Viacom CBS worth $900 million.
That's almost $1 billion.
Exactly. Right. This deal it's for 6 years worth of content, so 6 seasons of South Park and 14 movies and a video game. 14 movies.
Wait, 14.
That's a lot of movies.
14 movies?
Exactly.
Wait, how many South Park movies are there now? We only have one.
There's only one. There's only one South Park movie. So now they're expected to make 14 of them in 6 years. That's crazy.
And they sold it for 900. And Viacom's not even buying the IP. It's just a contract. Wow.
Yeah, it's just like the streaming service. It's a lot. And it's going for, they're making it for Paramount Plus the streaming services. I'm assuming that this is a move towards, they're trying to compete. They're trying to make Paramount Plus be on the same level as, Netflix and HBO Max. I guess now they're kind of going up there. We're essentially moving into the streaming wars.
Yeah, in the chat, Shibuya saying that's pretty outrageous for that price. And my name is Rosie. That's a lot of money for a show that hasn't been funny in a decade.
Yeah, I mean,
facts.
It's okay. So South Park, I think, is still decently good. They haven't completely gone downhill like a Family Guy, because I've watched new episodes of Family Guy and I just don't laugh anymore. South Park occasionally gets to laugh from me, but that is one of those things where it's definitely not the same quality that it used to be. It doesn't have the same. But I don't know. Let me ask you, Mikey, do you think that they could put out 14 South Park movies without, us experiencing fatigue from the IP and just kind of being over it?
I mean, think about this. Disney bought Lucasfilm for $4 billion, and so far they came out with a trilogy, 2 spin-offs, 1 live action, and I think people are already feeling a little bit of Star Wars fatigue. So, I think there's definitely going to be South Park fatigue. With 14 movies and 6 years of South Park TV, dude, yeah, I think that's way more saturated than Star Wars is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, they put out a South Park movie, not South Park, a Star Wars movie every year, and they had to cut back on that because they were seeing that kind of fatigue set in. I think it was with the Solo movie that people were like, I mean, it didn't bomb, but it bombed for a Star Wars movie, right?
Yeah, because Solo came out, I would say, less than 6 months after Episode 8. And marketing for Episode 8 was just kind of all over the place. So, yeah, I think right after Episode 8 came out, then he started marketing the marketing engine for Solo, and people were just like, okay, we're done. Which is kind of interesting how, what is Marvel doing right that everyone else is doing wrong? But at the same time, I think we're now 30 movies in, starting to get Marvel fatigue. So, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think personally, I still haven't gotten Marvel fatigue. I think that kind of year off from Marvel kind of helped everyone with that.
Mm-hmm.
Super Base in the chat says, depends on what they classify as a movie. The last 2 specials have been almost an hour. If they can manage an extra 30 minutes, it's practically a movie. Yeah, I would agree. They had that, I think it was a 3-part episode of the Imagination Land one, and I think that could have easily been a movie. They stick all of those together. Also, I think a couple people forget in the chat that they also announced a video game, which, I played a part of the Stick of Truth, and I thought it was pretty good. And then they had the one on the screen. They also had the sequel, which was the Fractured Butthole, where instead of like a Lord of the Rings inspired thing, they move on to kind of a superhero type genre. So who knows what they'll do with this one. Also, with the video games, both of them came from two different developers.
Huh.
Obsidian made Stick of Truth, and then Ubisoft made the Fractured Butthole. And I think most people feel like the Stick of Truth is the better game. So if they go back to Obsidian, which is owned now by Microsoft, that could be a big get for Microsoft to have an exclusive South Park RPG game.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that.
Exactly. So I mean, we'll see if they what developer they go with, and I'm sure they'll announce it. I don't know, maybe at the Video Game Awards at the end of the year, or possibly E3 next year. We'll see. But yeah, we move on from the stick of truth to the one ring that rules them all. What's up with the Lord of the Rings, Mikey?
So we finally have a date. The Lord of the Rings is officially coming to Amazon Prime on September 2nd next year. Following a weekly episodic format, the show will depict events during the feebled Second Age of Middle-earth, an age that spans roughly 3,500 years. So specific plot details are anyone's guess. And the synopsis is pretty basic, but it gives us a little more insight on what we can expect from the show. So it goes like this. Beginning in a time of relative peace, thousands of years before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings books, the series follows an ensemble cast of characters, both familiar and new, as they confront the long-feared reemergence of evil to Middle-earth. And that's it. So for fans of the show, I'm going to lure you up a little bit. Or that don't know, the Second Age of Arda, which is the world in which Middle-earth exists, begins with the defeat of Morgoth, the original big bad evil. And they end up with the defeat of Sauron by the last alliance of elves and men, which you may remember from the opening scenes of the first Lord of the Rings movie, Fellowship of the Ring. And also, fun fact, it was during the Second Age that Sauron arranged for the creation of the Rings of Power, including the One Ring to rule them all. Anyways, the cast, which seems to be growing by the day, includes Markella Kavanagh, who you might know from Romper Stomper, Joseph Mall, who you might know from Sense8, or Game of Thrones. He's the guy that played Benjen Stark. And there's also Morvid Clark from Crawl, Robert Aramayo, you might know from Antebellum, and Peter Mullen, who you might know from Westworld. And Will Poulter was originally attached, but he had to drop out due to scheduling conflict. You might know him from the Black Mirror Bandersnatch movie and Midsummer. But yeah, he was supposed to be in it, but not anymore. So yeah, I'm actually excited for this one. The idea of a weekly adventure in Middle-earth is just too appealing to pass up, if I'm being honest. So what do you think, Gio? Are you trying to go far over the misty mountains, cold through the dungeons deep and caverns old?
Well, we kind of talked about this before the pre-show, and you alluded to it earlier. I actually haven't seen the last two Lord of the Rings movies.
Why? Like, it's been how long since those movies came out, and you still haven't seen them? Like, have you just been purposely avoiding them?
No, actually, I don't have a distaste for Lord of the Rings. I think for me, I watched the first one and it was pretty boring. But everyone always tells me the second and third one are so much better. But I think one thing that got,
what?
I think one thing that almost got that got into my head is the Clerks 2 scene. You haven't seen Clerks 2, right?
No, not yet.
Oh my God! There's a scene in Clerks 2 where they're arguing Star Wars versus Lord of the Rings, and one of them basically says that Lord of the Rings is just a movie of walking. And the first one, I would say, it pretty much is.
I'm in the same boat as you on the first movie, because the first movie, like, there's so much hype around it. I remember like the fandom around it is like, I remember seeing in theaters and people like, it was like almost like a Star Wars type of event, but not as crazy. And the first one where they were talking around like the little well, like, the little circle. It was like a 20-minute scene. Dude, that was so long. I was so bored. But second movie and third movie was so good. And I think after watching those two and then rewatching the first one after, makes it a way better experience. But yeah, they did. Hold on, Super Bass in the chat is saying, personally, I'm tired of Lord of the Rings. The movie's always dragged out. They did that last part BS with the Hobbit trilogy, and I watched a bit of the first Hobbit, and it seemed more like of the same. Yeah, I would say the Hobbit movies aren't as good as the Lord of the Rings, and I actually watched a super fan cut where someone edited all three Hobbit movies into one, and it was better than watching it separately, I would say. No disrespect to Lord of the Rings fans, but this show is definitely going to be a snooze fest for most people. Well, interesting. I'm actually. What?
I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree as well.
I feel like, even though I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan, I feel like for most general public, they loved Game of Thrones, and I feel like people were so let down with the ending that they kind of are still looking for kind of that kind of scenario environment setting of not a fantasy. Well, Game of Thrones wasn't really it was a fantasy world, kind of a fantasy medieval world, and I feel like they're kind of hoping to kind of recreate that kind of magic with this. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if they can go kind of get that early Game of Thrones vibes. I think it'll be successful, and the IP is already really well known, so it's not like it's an unknown commodity. I don't know. What do you think, Mikey?
Yeah, no, they're obviously Amazon is trying to have their own Game of Thrones, and so I think they're putting a lot of money into it. I think this is their version of The Last of Us, like how HBO is putting like a ton of money into the Last of Us show because I feel like they want that to be like their next big hit. I think this Amazon is doing with this one because I feel like we might. I mean, it's Amazon Studios. They have Bezos money, so I feel like they could have movie like production for this show. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I am cautiously optimistic about it.
That Bezos money, though.
But if only Bezos wore a mask at night and fought crime, kind of like Batman. What's going on with Batman, though?
Yeah, Bezos is just bald and a supervillain. Anyways,
he's pretty much Lex Luthor.
Yeah, but like not as cool. Like
not cool at all.
No, not as cool. Not as cool at all. But you know who is cool? Jeffrey Wright, who's going to play Gordon in the upcoming Batman movie, but he's also going to play Bruce Wayne, Batman, on this upcoming narrative podcast that's being developed by HBO Max. It's called Batman: The Audio Adventures, which chronicles the tales of the Dark Knight. So, here's the thing, right, Mikey? I think technology-wise, or kind of not technology, let's say media-wise, right? It's kind of a reverse back to kind of the old radio shows, the old radio dramas, right? For me, it's kind of funny. For me, it's kind of funny because I feel like those are making such a comeback, and I think in the last few years, I've noticed that more and more people are listening to audiobooks. I don't know. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Audiobooks is becoming like the norm. I mean, from what I'm seeing, a lot of people like to listen to audiobooks on their drive to work, on their runs. Audiobooks and audio podcasts and audio dramas are becoming a thing.
Yeah. So I think these moving into these podcast style, like old school radio shows is going to be the next wave. I mean, we're going to have this one produced by HBO that's going to be, I would say that it's not going to be like low budget. It's going to be it's going to have high production value with Jeffrey Wright playing Bruce Wayne. We're going to have Rosario Dawson playing Catwoman, and John Leguizamo
Luigi?
as the Riddler. I don't know if y'all knew this, but I love John Leguizamo. Like, can you think of like such a man that has such range in like movies?
Yeah,
like Sid in Ice Age, Luigi in the Super Mario Brothers movie,
the clown from Spawn.
The clown from Spawn.
I forgot what his name was.
Wasn't it like Violator, I believe?
I forget that. But yeah, wait. But hold on, I have a question. So this is a radio drama, right? But it's on HBO Max, a streaming service. How are people going to listen to this?
I'm not sure yet. I mean, it's not like HBO Max has a streaming service to be sure of. I'm sure they'll have some type of deal with maybe Spotify or something to play it through there. I mean, HBO is the one that's creating it. Maybe they'll do kind of a have it on HBO Maxes so you can listen to it through their app,
Yeah, that's what I'm
and it'll
thinking.
have maybe like image stills to kind of help the viewer watch it, and
Oh,
kind of like a visual comic book. But I think if they do that, that'll also be really cool. I mean, it comes out this fall. They haven't given it an exact date yet, but I mean, I think this could be cool if you could just listen to Batman while you're like, doing laundry or washing dishes or
mhm.
any type of like household chore.
Or yeah, you can get a Batman story on your way to work.
Yeah,
And
like I said, it will.
go ahead.
We're moving towards kind of older forms of media that I wouldn't say they're not the flashiest, but they're kind of convenient for kind of our day-to-day lives to where, hey, we don't have time to always be looking at a screen when watching stuff. I mean, sometimes we just want to listen. Like podcasting in general, for example, right? That's
Mhm.
why a lot of podcasts, even though they have visual videos like kind of like how we do, a lot of them like to upload just their kind of audio to like a Spotify or a what's the word I'm looking for, an Apple Music or one of those other like audio streaming services.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Ark in the Wax
What do you
says
think,
he
Mike?
thinks the Batman radio drama will be coming out on Spotify. Wait, so have
Yeah.
you listened to any? Have you heard an audio drama? Like any audio dramas?
No, I've never been. I think this because I'm gonna check this out. I think this might be my first.
Because I've listened to one called "We're Alive." It's pretty much The Walking Dead, but a radio drama. And I think it's way better than Walking Dead. Because I listened to "We're Alive" on my drive to SoCal, and dude, it was like watching a movie in my brain. And there's hella good ones on YouTube. It says Ark and the Whack. Yeah, so like if you guys like radio drama or want to check out a radio drama, check out We're Alive. I think it's on Spotify, and they've been getting a lot of success. And it's, I don't know how many seasons now. There's a lot of spin-offs on that We're Alive radio drama podcast. So yeah, but yeah, radio dramas.
But yeah. But all right, moving on to the next story, Mikey. You're gonna need some Bruce Wayne money to be able to enjoy this.
Mm.
Tell me what's going on with Star Wars.
So like Arkin the Whack was saying in the chat earlier, Disney has successfully weaponized everyone's nostalgia because uh, opening in the spring of next year, Star Wars The Galactic Star Cruiser is an immersive Star Wars experience in a luxury hotel package, offering your choice of cabin, suite, or grand captain suite, depending on availability, because there's only going to be 100 rooms in that big spaceship you see right there. And it's actually, even though it's a Star Wars hotel, uh, inside the hotel looks exactly like a cruise ship, and the itinerary works like a cruise ship. Oh, I should have had the itinerary on there, but yeah. So let me just go through. As part of its dedication to an immersive experience, cosplay will not only be permitted at Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, but encouraged. Guests can decide whether to follow the darkness or the light. So if you've ever seen HBO's Westworld, then the concept of black hats and white hats will be familiar. But those who haven't seen Westworld, it's pretty much LARPing. You're real life LARPing or role playing in real life. That's what LARPing is. But and guests will interact with this immersive world by way of their personal datapad, aka their phone, which is basically an app that you'll need to install on your phone. But be advised, the app will collect the personal data like every other app ever. Please, hold on. Be aware if you do not choose to allow to collect certain data through the app, then we may not be able to give you those experiences. So here's the price. It's pretty crazy. So the price of that personalized experience also grants access to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and Hollywood Studios in general. And the price is $4,800 to get you to a galaxy far, far away for
What?
only 2 nights.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and that's only going, and that's on a weekday. Those are weekday prices.
What?
Yeah,
Are you
so
what the?
yeah, it's going to be about 5,000 for a party of two. Could be 6,000 to 10,000 for a family of four or more.
What if you got like 4 kids? What are you gonna do?
You, you gotta not go to this Galactic Star Cruiser and just watch things on YouTube, because that's most likely what I might be doing. I mean, I really want to go on this Star Cruiser, but 2 nights for 5,000. I read somewhere where it's like, if you kind of not break it down, you're pretty much paying $70 an hour for this experience. But
Man,
you would be getting lightsaber training. You'll be getting alien-like foods, which is all paid for. Like food is included. I think there's free alcohol because it is a cruise. And and there's also going to be unexpected story events that will happen during your stay there. And then, like, say for example, you're on your way for lightsaber training, but something happens on the way. Maybe it's, the Empire is trying to break in or something, and you have to help the rebels fight back. And then and that happens for like half an hour. So
or you help fight the rebels because you join the dark side quest pass.
yeah, actually, I don't know how that works. Like, if you're clearly a dark side or light side person, and like, I don't know. But yeah, Super Base says if they could charge 10 people or 10 grand for a 10 at a festival, they can certainly charge you 4,800 for a 2-day immersive experience. Argon Oasis.
What festival is 10 grand?
I'm assuming I don't know, Hard Summer, Coachella, EDC.
Argon Oasis, alcohol and specialty drinks are not included.
Do you get some swag at least? I think hopefully the lightsaber, they give you a lightsaber. I mean, because it's Star Wars.
I doubt it. That's an extra $200 add-on.
Actually, yeah, maybe not, because they give you a pass to go to the park to ride the ride, and maybe if you want to stay in the park in that area, Galaxy's Edge. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I wish I should have had the pictures of the rooms, because it looks kind of small, but it looks literally like a cruise ship room. So I don't know. I really want to try this out, but dude, it's so expensive. And I feel like maybe I want to wait on reviews, pretending that I'm planning on going. Because I feel like maybe the first month, they're just trying to hash things or fix things. I don't know.
Get things to work. Yeah.
Yeah. We will see. And I don't know the target audience for it's well-off families. And do you think the price will ever reduce when the hype dies down, or will the hype ever die down?
Hell no. That price is only going to go up.
Yeah.
When have you heard of Disney making prices for their theme parks cheaper? When has that happened?
Yeah, no, Mickey's always greedy.
Yeah, but I don't know. Let me ask you something, though, before we move on to the next part of the show. Do you think the fact that we have a lot of Disney adults or people that grew up with these series that are now like working class adults and have, Super Base in the chat says you'd be surprised at how many people have disposable income.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think the fact that kind of the rise in our generation and that nostalgia, do you think that's led to these kind of experiences that you pay a high premium for?
Yeah, and I think it's an effect that is seen across all forms of media, live entertainment, TV shows, movies. Everyone is trying to cash in on our nostalgia for what we liked when we were little, like things in the 80s movies, 80s genres, 80s tropes, Transformers, G.I. Joe. They're all coming back.
Yeah, true.
And Mickey Mouse from South Park was a great representation. Oh yeah, that was a good episode.
But yeah.
All right, so let's. Oh, and wait, what? Do you have anything else?
I was gonna say before we move on to the show, I gotta use the bathroom. Can we take a halftime break?
Okay, yeah. If you guys want to get a drink, get up, do whatever, go right on ahead, because Geo, actually, well, I'll be here hanging out with you while Geo is doing all that stuff. Well, I mean, the
I'll be
current
back in
generation
like
doesn't seem to have a problem
a minute.
paying exorbitant premiums. Yeah, right. So I feel like, what is an experience? Actually, no, this specific experience is something that I would pay for if I had the money. And then this is probably like the only nostalgic thing that I would want to do, because I'm just a huge Star Wars fan. As you, hold on, it's like, yo, I'm going to Star Wars Celebration next year as a TIE Fighter pilot. And yeah, dude, and also on I have a bunch of other Star Wars stuff too, but I don't want to like pull them out because I don't want to clean. I know people who will save up all year just to blow it for 3 days. That was me a few years ago with the Disneyland trip. I would save up a lot of few months just for a weekend at Disneyland, and sometimes it was worth it. But I realized the next year after, the same amount of money could buy you 4 days in San Diego. Mikey, you got all the cool helmets. Yo, just two. But yeah, those are my favorite. That is my favorite Star Wars helmet, actually, the Star Wars TIE Fighter pilot. Because I was thinking, I was like, if, out of all the helmets, like in the Empire, because Empire, I'm dark side, dude. Empire all day. The TIE Fighter pilots, that's the coolest one. And also, I think it's because of that anime short with the TIE Fighter. I don't know if you guys seen that. Look up TIE Fighter anime, and it's like a 9-minute music video where it's just like TIE Fighter pilots doing cool stuff. Personally, I'm kind of a cheapskate, so I just feel robbed when I involve myself in events. Yeah, I see what you mean, but yeah, well, not cheapskate. It's just that if I don't get anything permanent for my money, it's not really worth it for me. Yeah, for me, I like. So you like the tangible things, and experiences are permanent. Well, depending on who you ask. Really, that's I find it interesting because I like going for experiences like something that would something to remember. It gives me a good story, and like, yo, I had a lot of fun. Like, so EDC, I've been to EDC twice. That's 3 days. Like, I don't think I'll ever have that much fun. But anyways, Geo's back.
What? I'm back.
So,
Fun fact.
Geo, is there an experience that you would pay large amounts of money for?
Yeah, my trip to Japan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, for like nostalgic properties, like what nostalgic experience would you like to have again? As an
Like
adult?
what? Like property?
Yeah.
Oh, Nintendo Land. This is the easiest thing in the world.
Oh shit. Yeah, of
Bruh.
course. Yeah, it was just
Bruh,
why
yeah.
we're going, or you're going to Japan.
Bro, I will easily pay a premium to go to Japan right now and go to Super Nintendo Land. Like, I'm trying to save up. Like, I'm trying to go to Japan next year. I'm trying to save up like 10K so I can go out there and just like ball out and like
Yeah, that's
not worry
way more
about
than enough.
Oh, I'm trying to be big baller out there. You feel me? Like, I'm trying to just not worry about it. Yo, you know how many figures I can buy? You know how many figures I can buy? I could buy so many figures, dog.
Like 10.
I'm like, shut up. Like, I'm gonna buy so many. Like, oh my goodness, it's gonna be nuts.
All right,
I'm
so
excited.
let's get into our review. Wait, which one are we reviewing first?
Let's do Jungle Cruise first.
Okay. So let's get into our review of Jungle Cruise.
All right, so we are doing a non spoiler, right?
Yeah, we are not spoiling Jungle Cruise at all, so it's safe. Same with the next movie, Suicide Squad. No spoilers. We'll just talk about our thoughts. Yeah, what we like and what we didn't like.
Okay, so let me bring up this point before we go into kind of the movie itself. It is relevant to the movie. So Jungle
Mm-hmm.
Cruise is kind of the latest of this Disney trend of making movies based on their rides.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got a couple questions for this. This is actually seems like their second go around of them doing this because the first time they did it, it didn't work out so well. They had the Country Bears, which was based off, what was it, the Country Bears Jamboree? And they
Mm-hmm.
had Haunted Mansion, the Eddie Murphy one, which
Oh yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
wasn't released that well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had,
Yeah,
the big one, Pirates of the Caribbean, which actually became a hit and spawned 5 movies. Was it 5?
uh,
I
4?
believe
Maybe,
so.
oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, it is 5. It's 5. Yeah.
It is 5. And that's crazy that they made 5 Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Like,
Because the first one was
what?
so successful,
Yeah.
and I
And I
feel like
think
this movie took a lot of inspiration from that one.
and it's one of those things of what's the word I'm looking for? We you know what we should have named this episode, Mikey?
What?
Actually, now that I think about it, weaponized nostalgia.
Dude, that's so
Because
good. I'm changing it right now.
that's what this episode should have been called because it's literally what it is. Yeah, it is 5 movies.
Weaponized nostalgia. Okay, that's the new title.
But they're also making a 6th movie off of it,
Really?
apparently. Yeah, without Johnny Depp.
Interesting.
But
Can he do?
but anyway, so we have kind of that latest. We have that kind of series that just won't die,
Mhm.
much like just like the pirates, they won't die. And now we have Jungle Cruise, right? And we also
Right.
have the new Haunted Mansion that we talked about, I believe, last week or
Yeah.
or 2 weeks ago.
With Tiffany Haddish and
So
Lakeith Stanfield.
yes, and that makes me excited because I love Haunted Mansion
Mm-hmm.
and I love Lakeith Stanfield and Tiffany Haddish. But I don't know, Mikey, are we going to see this trend go on?
I mean, what other rides could they make? I mean, just picked under Mountain Railroad, Space Mountain, which there wasn't a movie. It was Tomorrowland, which is kind of weird.
Oh, that
Yeah.
movie. No.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we got Space Mountain. Yeah, that's actually a bunch of rides. So maybe we might actually see a resurgence of ride movies. They should make a movie based on Indiana Jones ride. Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like
It's a good
that's
idea, Arkin.
that should be
Wow.
I feel like you could build a
It's
trilogy
7th
off of that
level.
one.
I feel like you could get someone like a Han Solo type actor to play that. I think that'd be
Or
10
like
out
a
of 10.
rugged, like crystally man, like
Yeah, I think that would be perfect.
so.
Okay,
So
jokes
this movie,
aside,
whatchamacallit? If
okay.
Mark Hamill, that's good. What's So in my opinion, this movie is like if Disneyland, Uncharted 1, and the movie Anaconda with J Lo and Ice Cube, and the Indiana Jones movie Temple of Doom all had a baby together. It would be that movie, Jungle Cruise, but not as good.
I agree. I think if you take those elements from those movies and make it for kids, and tone down the quality a little bit,
Yeah,
then
like
I would agree with you.
if you want a family-friendly Anaconda, Jungle Cruise is your movie.
I will say though, like I initially wrote off this movie that it would be complete garbaggio,
Yeah,
and it wasn't.
I thought it was going to be a chore to watch, but I enjoyed it a lot.
I think it was a much better movie than people give it credit for. Um, I think this movie does run on a little too long.
Yeah,
I
and
think
there's
2
some
hours.
forced plot developments.
Yeah, so let's go about it. Let's talk about the leads, right?
Mhm.
Emily Blunt and The Rock. Now, for me personally, you could put Emily Blunt in anything, and I will watch it because I love that woman.
Yeah,
Like she's amazing.
Mhm.
I think she's amazing in what else has she been in? She's been in the Adjustment Bureau,
A Quiet Place 1 and 2,
The
which I
Quiet
saw this week, and A Quiet Place 2 is, dude, she's good.
and Edge of Tomorrow. Like those are like 3 movies already that I'm like, Okay, I love the first two. A Quiet Place, I liked. I didn't love it. The ending kind of ruined it for me, but we can talk about that later. But anyways, I think Emily Blunt did a great job. John Krasinski is one of the luckiest men like alive. Yo, he got the bag on that one because like Emily Blunt is
Oh, and also
amazing.
she was Mary Poppins.
Oh right,
Mm-hmm.
she was. God dang, that woman is talented. But let's go about The Rock. What do you think of Dwayne Johnson?
He this feel well. He's on a mission to take over Hollywood, and this movie is just another stepping stone. It feels like, and also I think Disney loves The Rock.
Yeah, I mean
Maui,
he
this movie.
he
What else? I forget. Something else? Is that just it? Never mind.
I
But
think as far as Disney The Rock movies, yeah. I can't think of.
I feel like he was in other. Anyways, but yeah. What did you think of The Rock? I like. He was good in the role, but I was like, damn. That's like. It's like if The Rock walked straight from the set of Fast and Furious and became a skipper.
Yeah, no, like
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so dude, we're not getting into spoilers, but there is a problem to have with the Rock performances as far as the kind of the movie, like the plot where you
Uh-huh.
find out more about his character, which we'll probably talk about more in the post show. But I think he did a decent job. I think the Rock is just a super charming guy and super charismatic. He's not like an amazing actor or a great actor, but the dude is just super likable.
Hmm. And
So and you know,
okay, yeah. Other Disney movies he's been in, The Game Plan, which has a little dog. I don't. And then The Race to Witch Mountain. Remember that meme where he looks back in the back seat, and then Maui, and then yeah, Jungle Cruise. The Rock has
let's
just as
see.
much as range as
Okay,
Arnold
yeah,
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, but you know, like I said, he's just a charismatic guy that people just like enough to vote him to be governor of California. Which, looking back now, is just like, what the heck? But Placido, Placido said, I think The Rock was trying to make some moves on Emily Blunt. A little sus.
Oh,
LOL.
okay. So let's talk about that. What do you think about
Let's
their
talk.
chemistry?
I think they have I think they have good chemistry, like working kind of together.
Mm-hmm.
But the romance just kind of felt out of nowhere.
Yeah, and no
Now, what do you
spoilers.
think?
Okay.
Oh, oh, my bad.
Yeah, yeah,
Eh,
yeah. No, I didn't buy that at all. And I was like,
yeah,
oh, whoa! I was like, the heck, like their banter, they play off each other really well, and you could see that in their interviews promoting this movie too, and yeah, I think it ends there though. I think anything more than that would feel forced.
right. What do you think of? Okay, this isn't really a spoiler, but what do you think of the brother character, Emily Blunt's character? It was,
Oh
I
yeah,
believe,
hmm
played by Jack Whitehall.
yeah. So apparently that's the first openly gay character in a Disney film.
What do you? Oh,
Because
what
like
do you say?
well, yeah, because he had a conversation and be like, yeah, I don't swing that way.
Well, he didn't say it. He didn't openly just say he's gay. He was just like, my interests lie, you know, and
Elsewhere.
they alluded to it.
Hmm.
They alluded to it. They didn't really flat out say. And I think kind of because what I've been reading from people is people are split on that.
Hmm.
That some people feel like, oh, it's great that we have finally a gay character in a Disney movie,
Yeah.
and then other people are like, well, his character felt a little kind of one dimensional and kind of hollow. So they were kind of like, we wanted more. We don't feel like he's accurate representation. I don't speak for the LGBTQ community, so I'm interested to see what people's actual thoughts on that are. I personally thought that it was kind of a neat little extra dimension to the
Hmm.
character. But I do though agree that I feel like he could have been more than kind of just the brother that's kind of like he doesn't want to be there. Kind of like the mummy actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was like, he reminded me a lot of, I forgot the dude actor, the Mummy, the brother, the scholar dude, trying to read all the
Yeah.
books.
Honestly,
Okay.
like when you really think about it, this
That's fun.
kind of movie is kind of really placed off the Mummy.
Well, like it takes a lot of inspiration from all those, like the Mummy, Indiana Jones, obviously the rides, and the Uncharted video game. I feel like because like have you played Uncharted 1?
Yeah,
Like how similar? Or I don't want to talk spoilers, but yeah,
very similar.
I got very similar vibes, and I forgot what I was going with that because
What do
I'm
you think of? Okay, let's
well,
talk about the villains. What do you think of? Because there's essentially two sets of villains in this movie, right?
oh yeah,
Right. You
I
have the kind of
really enjoyed uh the Nazi villain guy. I,
really. I didn't care for him.
really because well
Yeah,
maybe it's because I see him in a bunch of other things, and I first saw him on Breaking Bad. He was the guy that would pretty much torture Jesse Pinkman in that show for the fans of the show who you might remember. And yeah, he's been killing it in the roles that he's been having in like The Master with Joaquin Phoenix. Some other he plays that weird villainous vibe really well.
you know what?
Oh,
Every time I see that guy, I just like, yo, this is like a chubbier Matt Damon. No
John
disrespect to
Hannah.
him.
John Hannah from The Mummy is the brother.
Ah,
Yeah,
it.
Jesse
Um,
Jesse Plemons plays a Nazi.
well,
I mean,
he's not
is
really.
he a Nazi?
He's not a Nazi. No, he's not a Nazi. This takes place during World War One, so he
Oh,
would
okay. Oh
be.
yeah. Oops.
He's. I think he's alluded to being a son of Wilhelm the second,
Oh, game night. Yeah.
the German Kaiser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, I would say I kind of didn't really feel for his character. Like not feel, but like I feel like we don't really get motivations for him. And I know this is Jungle Cruise, so I'm not expecting like the deepest like villain, but it kind of felt like they already had good villains with the other set of villains.
Mm-hmm.
Which should we get into those? Because
No,
like I think that's a minor spoiler.
no, like no. Like you'll see what we're mentioning on the in the trailers if you're actually right there. Actually, I think they're in the trailer.
Okay.
Ark in the Wax says, if you've
Yeah.
ever seen A Clockwork Orange, they had to pry my eyes open with clamps to make me watch this shit. Huh, that's funny. Wait, so did you like this movie overall, Gio?
Okay, so here's what I think about this movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
overall, I don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think it's simply great. It's kind of a decent, safe movie. I
Mm-hmm.
would recommend this if you are. How would I say this? If you have a bunch of kids, like preteens,
Mm-hmm.
that you wanna take them to go watch a movie, or even younger kids, it might be a little scary for like the younger kids, but I would say that this is definitely a good family flick. If you are going on a date and you want to just go watch like kind of a movie, like a safe movie, then I would say go for it. Like this is a good safe date night or a good family flick to go to. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't great. I would kind of give it like a 7 out of 10, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the Rock is the Rock. He's charming as ever. The plot's a little convoluted, but I think there are some good twists that kind of I didn't see coming. Which usually I'm pretty good at picking up plot twists, which I kind of did enjoy. Also, like I love Emily Blunt. I'll just be blunt about that.
Yeah, I'll give it the same ranking, 7 out of 10. But what is it good enough to warrant a sequel? And would you watch a sequel if there is one?
Um, I mean, the only reason I watched this movie is to
Review it.
for the show, because I honestly thought we were gonna just sit here and just trash on this movie,
Yeah, no, same
but
here.
we
Like,
didn't.
but I thought it was
If
decently enjoyable, and
if
I would
we if
recommend
we
it.
review if we review if we review this movie for a if we review the second movie, I'll watch it. But other than that, I probably won't.
Yeah, so like, if you like Anaconda, the movie, but you want to watch it with the kids but you can't because Anaconda is too violent and is it Jungle Cruise is the answer.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll see.
So
Ark in the Wax says, if you ever seen a Clockwork Orange, they'd have to pry my eyes open with clamps to make me watch this shit. It looks like it was written, produced, and directed by an algorithm. That's a
I mean, he's not wrong. Like it took the best parts out of all the movies that we've mentioned before, and put them into one commercialized product, which feels not as genuine as like Pirates, but is tolerable.
yeah. I mean, I would say they're trying to recreate the magic of Pirates 1, so
Yeah.
I would agree with Ark in the Whack on that one.
Wait,
Like they're like,
so
how can we
how can what?
go on?
How?
I was gonna
So
say, how
where do
can
you?
we take
Oh God damn it!
God damn it. I was just gonna say, um, they're just like, how can we take the setting of Jungle Cruise and turn it into Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to say, if you like the actual ride at Disneyland, I think you would like the ride references that you see in the movie. And then final word on this: does the movie sink or swim?
I think it floats.
That's actually a good answer. I agree. Okay, so well, long story short, your girlfriend will love it. Yeah, basically. So that brings us from a family fun adventure to a gore filled, expletive filled, action packed movie. Gio, tell us your thoughts on this movie.
I'm gonna just say off the jump, I
Mhm.
fucking love this movie. This is like one of my top 5 comic book films
Of
of all
like,
time.
oh wow. Wait, so now you
Oh,
have to say what's your other top.
okay, I would probably say my other top 5, and I'm not gonna rank them because
Yeah,
they
just off the
probably
top
move
of your head.
around a lot. Okay, so The Dark Knight,
Hmm.
Black Panther,
Okay.
Logan, Captain America, and the Winter Soldier,
Good
and
choice. Good
then
choice.
and
And the Suicide
Suicide,
Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Wow, that's
I
high
I
praise.
I love this movie. It is probably, I don't know. I can't really think of anything that'll top this as far as movie of the year for me right now. I mean, but then again, I haven't watched a lot of movies. Um, Before we go into further into the review, I know maybe I should have started this first. Let's go into kind of the predecessor and kind of it'll help us expound our thoughts and something to kind of compare to.
Okay.
What did you think of the first Suicide Squad movie, Mikey?
The first Suicide Squad movie, we saw that in theaters together, and I remember the first 30 minutes I enjoyed, but then somewhere along the way, it just became like what was happening, what's going on, and then Cara Delevingne started like dancing and like but ruining, taking over the world. And then I was like, okay, I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm not really a fan of this one, but I like the characters and their interactions. But the story, the way the plot developed, I was not a fan.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the plot got really kind of weird out of nowhere and just kind of felt like, oh, this character is just going to turn bad, and then now they have to stop this character. And I felt like also I think for me the biggest problem with the first Suicide Squad movie is the characterizations of many of the characters were just flat out wrong. Like Deadshot was not Deadshot. And I know that when they do comic book movies, they're not going to be exact copies of the characters
Mm.
of the comic books, but it just felt so wrong and just not working. Like Deadshot was essentially just Will Smith. And
Yeah, pretty
oh my
much.
goodness, that scene where Waller asked him to shoot Harley and he missed, that would never happen. But I think okay, so like Deadshot was a miss. I think I think they nailed it with the first movie on a couple characters, and it's key because those are characters that are returning.
Hmm.
Like I think Viola Davis as Amanda Waller is you couldn't cast anyone better.
Yeah, like she brings the same energy that Ewan McGregor brought in Birds of Prey. Like she knows what movie she's in.
I feel like Margot Robbie has kind of grown into her role as Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
I
and
think this is kind of her
this movie makes me want another solo Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah, same. And I would want it to be directed by James Gunn.
Oh, definitely.
And I think that they nailed it with Captain Boomerang kind of being kind of the scummy scumbag that he is.
Mm.
Now, one quick question: do you think an Ayers cut of the first movie exists?
I mean, I would think it exists because it says the cut that we have or that we've seen is not his cut. So him saying that,
Yeah.
like, there is an Ayer cut that exists, but will we ever see it? Will that ever see the light of day? Probably not, because the fandom movement towards the Snyder cut was huge, and it's not as big as for the Ayer cut
Massive.
as the Snyder cut. So I don't think we'll ever see that.
Okay, so granted, kind of where I'm going with this, right? The characterizations I feel like of Deadshot, especially the Joker, they were all wrong in the first Suicide Squad movie. In the Suicide Squad, I think James Gunn nails it. I think every character, even if he's taken some liberties with their character, I think he's nailed the characterization to where they all work perfectly in this movie.
Yeah, and Placido in Placido in the chat. You're correct. It is the same director from Guardians of the Galaxy, and you think that's why this movie is good, because James Gunn knows how to handle multiple characters within a 2-hour movie. Okay, yes, yeah, I guess.
But basically, it says, I think if you be critical, it's not a solid movie. It's a downright good, gory, rompy fun. Talking about the first one. Or if you're talking about the second one. Because if you're talking about
I mean,
the second,
I feel like
if you're talking about this one,
that works for both.
I think the first one was complete garbaggio. The second one, I think this movie is amazing. I love this movie. I think it nails like the downright fun. It's got heart. I think the jokes stick. I think if I had to make some, you know what, and I would say from off the bat, right, the first scene, the first 5 minutes set the tone for this movie.
Oh yeah,
You don't
definitely
know what to expect when the first 5 minutes hit. You will be like, oh, this kind of movie.
Yeah, so
Like,
the
we're
first
going
the first
crazy.
5 minutes pretty much did what the first movie did in the first 30 minutes. And so the first 5 minutes of the movie, it was pretty much a rehash of the first movie, but like it's so streamlined so efficiently, and even it doesn't stop until, I say, no, the whole movie is actually pretty efficient. Now that I think about it, because
Yeah,
even 15 minutes in, we're already like in the movie, and like we get the mission, we meet everyone else, and then, like, within 15 minutes, the mission is begun, and you're prepared for the ride.
Exactly. I think also, I think James Gunn does a good job of even giving kind of like bit characters like Amanda Waller's like office workers, the ones who are like I don't want to say
I
lackeys,
really
her
enjoyed
employees.
the staff, the police staff.
Yeah, I think he gives them. They only have like 1 or 2 lines or 3 lines maybe in the movies,
But they're all very
James Gunn
impressionable.
gives them enough character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say, oh man, is there a weak point out of the main characters? I would say not really. I think all of them pretty much have jokes that hit.
Yeah, and they
Right.
all have their moments.
Who's your favorite character?
It would be, I don't even know her actual name, but the Rat Queen, who control of all the rats. Who?
Yeah,
Ratcatcher.
Ratcatcher.
Right? Oh yeah,
Ratcatcher.
I really enjoyed her vibes. She gave me Aubrey Plaza vibes.
I really enjoyed her. I thought she was like the heart of the movie, and I think, shout out to Taika Waititi for his kind of cameo portrayal as Ratcatcher 1. It took me a minute to realize it was him. I watched this movie twice already. I watched it in theaters, and then I watched it the second time on HBO Max. And it wasn't until the second time I watched it that I was like, "Yo, that's Taika Waititi."
And
I
he's
forgot
not
he was in this.
and he's not the only actor. Well, it's like person from the Marvel universe appearing in this movie. There's also Mantis. Keep an eye out for that, and obviously Michael Rooker. But yeah. So hold up. Placio in the chat is asking, "How is the music for the movie?" For me, it didn't really stand out. For me, it's not that I can think
I
of.
liked it a lot, actually. I think
Like on the same level as Guardians.
The first, no, definitely not on the same level as Guardians, but I thought it was good. I think for me, kind of that opening scene, that scene where they had that song, like, and those people just died. I thought that was perfect.
Dude, yeah.
But,
Ratcatcher.
Anyways,
Yeah, that's
moving
her.
on.
Daniela Melchior. I'm
Melchior.
butchering her name.
She's an unknown, I believe. I think this might be like her big kind of big big break.
Oh yeah, it is.
Right? Because I don't think
she's
a
Portuguese film and television actress, and she was
yeah
Spider Gwen in Into the Spider Verse, but in the Portuguese version. Yeah, she was the voice.
Yeah. Oh, this is kind of her big break into like Hollywood. I mean, she seems like she had like some roles as like a VA or TV in Portugal, but this is kind of her big.
Oh yeah, no, TV is where she's most known
Like,
for. She has hundreds of episodes in TV from 2014 to 2019. So yeah.
What did you think of the John Cena Idris Elba
dynamic?
Kind of.
I really enjoyed their. I really enjoyed everyone playing off of each other, and you wouldn't think like these actors like take a picture of these actors and be like, "Whoa, what the heck?" But like, say for the polka dot guy, dude, he plays it off so well. Like, especially with what's his face? I can't. I'm blanking out right now. But dude, polka dot is so funny. And then the shark. That's a shark. Dude, the shark is pretty much the Hulk from Thor Ragnarok. Are you frozen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they were trying to get James Gunn was kind of going for the Hulk mixed with Groot kind of vibe with King Shark. Are we
lagging?
Am I laggy, Mikey?
Oh yeah, I think I'm lagging.
Oh, I think you might be.
Are my hands skipping?
Yeah, no. I can see your hands on the OBS.
Oh, weird. Okay. So,
moving on?
Is this movie better than Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes, I would say so.
Wow.
I mean, I ranked it in my top 5. I think it's. I love Guardians. I love Guardians 1. Don't get me wrong, but I think I just love these characters more, and I think the jokes hit more for me because I like as much as I love Groot, Rocket, Drax, Gamora, and Star-Lord. I think for me, because to me, Idris Elba is the lead in this movie.
Oh yeah,
right. Would you agree?
Yeah, I thought it would be Harley Quinn.
He did a phenomenal job.
And was it? Did I read that?
I would say.
Wait, what? Or am I?
I would say that for me. Go ahead.
I feel like we're hella lagging, and so like our audio is like jumping in and out. It could be my end, but sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, for me, I think Idris Elba. I thought he did a great job. That I liked him more than Star-Lord as far as kind of the actor. I thought I liked Bloodsport as a character more than I liked Star-Lord, mostly because just kind of who he is in that scene with his daughter. Like that's kind of, I feel like that's kind of how like those kind of calls go more often than not. when when he's talking to his daughter.
Oh yeah, dude, I really enjoyed the scene. Like with the first scene that we got with him and his daughter, who were just talking shit to each other. That made me laugh actually.
Exactly.
But so yeah, you would obviously recommend this
But
movie.
oh, it's to me it's like a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, and like Super Basic says in the chat, if you like Guardians of the Galaxy, you'll most probably like Suicide Squad. And speaking of James Gunn and his movies, the DC, I forgot who it was, the CEO or president of DC Films says they want to have James Gunn back in the DC universe. So would you want that? And if so, who? For with superhero, I'm assuming Blue Beetle.
Oh, James Gunn. I mean, I would love. I think James Gunn could do any superhero, to be honest. But I would love to see him make a solo Harley Quinn movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, especially
And I think,
I really love the old boy homage in this movie, and that's all I'll say about that.
and I think for me, oh God, we'll never get this, but I really hope we do.
What?
If we can get James Gunn directing The Secret Six, which is very much a deep cut. Shout out to Ark and the Whack for putting me onto The Secret Six, because if they could make a Secret Six movie and James Gunn directing, yo, let's go. Like,
Yeah, I would watch
I
that.
would be hyped for that. I would be hyped. You know, I feel like, you know what? Let me give a shout out. Let me give a thank you to Mike. What's his name? Mike Senovich, that right wing guy who got James Gunn fired from Guardians 3. Because if it wasn't for that, we would have never gotten this. So
Oh yeah, true.
shout out to you for being the scumbag that you are, Mr. Ceviche. And yeah, I love this movie. I'm so excited
Yeah,
for James Gunn in the DC.
yeah, I highly recommend this movie, especially if you like Guardians and if you like DC. If you want to like some gory in your if you like Deadpool, you like this movie.
Yeah, this
Like
I
it's
would
very on the
say
same
this
wavelength of
movie.
Deadpool, in my opinion.
I would say if you take like the gore and violence from Deadpool and put it into like Guardians of the Galaxy, that's what you would get. But I love this movie.
Yeah,
I can't say that enough.
so you give it 9.5 out of 10?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Like I had a good time watching this, and I had good laughs, a lot of laughs actually. I would really wish I saw this in theaters. Like this seems like a movie to watch with the crowd or like a group of people.
I
But
watched it in theaters,
how was the
and
theater experience
it
for
didn't
you?
feel like. Well, nah, I mean, I watched it at like 10:30 at night on Thursday, so it wasn't really full.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was good. Recommend it.
All right, so yeah, that brings us to
All right.
the end of our review of Suicide Squad. We both enjoyed it. We both recommend it if you like Guardians of the Galaxy and Deadpool. So yeah. All right,
Yes,
so
sir.
that brings us to the end of our show, and also our final word from Gio.
All right. So, sorry, I wanted to cough, but yeah, it's like, anyways, sorry, I got like a cough, like hiccup. But anyways,
We're given.
final word. Final word. Go out and explore your passion, right? Don't let the higher ups really like bring you down. You see James Gunn? You see what he did? This man made a Suicide Squad movie that didn't have to deal with all of the kind of corporate BS from the higher ups at Warner Brothers. He made his vision. And for the final word, I want to tell you, follow your vision. Don't let other people tell you that your vision is wrong, because only you know your own vision. They're going to say, oh, hey, in order to be more successful or appeal to more of a market. No. We don't do that here. You come up with your creative vision, and it's not about trying to appeal to a mass, because when you do that, you kind of lose the integrity. You want to be yourself. You want to appeal to whatever you want to do. Follow your own gut, and don't let anyone else tell you what to do. that being said, this has been the 1v1 show. Please stick around for the post show, where we will talk about stories that we had lined up that didn't really make it into the show. Also, let us know what you think of the new format with longer time for less stories, so we can give a little bit more of our thoughts. Also, don't forget to check us out on our socials. If someone can do the Twitch command on the chat, the exclamation point 1v1, por favor. You will see that there is our YouTube channel, our Instagram, our Twitter, and our Patreon. Please check out our YouTube, subscribe to it. If we get 100 subscribers, we can get a custom URL that will help the channel grow. And then you will see kind of our posts and what we're up to on Instagram and Twitter. And then follow us on Patreon. If you can throw us a couple of bucks, we would really appreciate it. Like always, this has been your host, Geo Huey Flow, alongside my co-host,
Mikey.
Telling you to stay thriving, stay surviving, and stay fighting. Oh, there's that hiccup. Don't forget to check out the post show, and we'll see you later. Oh, God. Ugh. Peace. What's up?
Whoa, hello, and we're back. So usually we take like a minute, just take a break, go to the bathroom, whatever. But like I'm good. But yeah. So Placido, you were asking, going forward, do you guys think all movies should be released on stream? I love streaming. I love the streaming movies thing. I hated going to the dirty, nasty theaters. Yeah, true. They make TVs and sound systems big enough to be enjoyable. Can pause, go have a wee. Oh, I mean, I'm not. I'm good. Make some food. Make a better ambiance. Geo is currently getting his DoorDash and stuff. But yeah. So, how do you guys like the show? Less topics, more discussion. I feel like kind of fell off. I think the lagging messed up our flow for the Suicide Squad, but other than that, I feel like it was alright. I mean, looking to let's see what our post. So, what we're going to be talking about in the post show. Let me just give you an idea. Let's see. Post show notes. So, if you're new here, because I feel like we have some viewers. So, every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. PST, we have this show here, the 1v1 show. 1v1 at 11. Trying to keep the one theme. And we talk about the latest in gaming and pop culture. So we talk about a bunch of stuff. Let's see, like Gio, he'll talk about anime, music stuff. He's a hip hop aficionado. And like Nintendo. And I'm the PlayStation guy, film, MMA, and yeah. Oh, and he is back. Yo, what up, Gio?
What up? I had to go get my DoorDash because they got dropped off like 10 minutes before. No, maybe like 5 minutes before the show ended.
What food did you get?
I got some pho. It's gonna be lit.
All right, so yeah, the stuff that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about Ariana Grande. We're going to be talking about Pokemon. We're going to be talking about the new Venom trailer. We're going to talk about Travis Scott and talk about Da Baby.
Da Baby.
And what else? And a bunch of other random stuff that didn't make the show. Kind of like Halo and Avatar. A lot of stuff, actually. We have a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, because since we cut down the format to 10 topics.
Yeah, so I
give you money, so we have a lot of post show.
Yeah, so we have 10 extra topics that, yeah. we didn't talk about. So
Let me
starting, let's go through. I mean, it's not like a really formal show. So, but what's going on with the
Alright.
Fortnite and Ariana's having a concert on Fortnite, like how Travis Scott did?
Yeah, Fortnite, they're having an event where they're having kind of an Ariana Grande. Basically, she's going to be a skin in Fortnite. Fun fact: this is actually the second time Ariana Grande has appeared in a video game. You
What's
know
the
what the
first
first
time?
one was?
No.
It was Final Fantasy Bravest Exvius, which is a
What?
SquareSoft Final Fantasy mobile game.
So
Yeah,
she's canon?
kind of, not really. Like, yeah, she's canon, but not in like that mobile game.
Oh, no, no.
So it's
Okay.
not in the actual ones, but yeah. So I don't know. When we put this story, I remember you and our writer Adrian, you were both were like, "How is this news? Like, why would people care about it?" And I kind of see it in the sense of like, oh, like this is. Oh, I'm getting a phone call from Ocean Blue Lacrosse.
Okay.
Um,
I'll. You might.
I'm getting.
Do you want to take the
I
call?
Yeah. Actually, let me give him a call back.
Yeah. I'll
Um,
just mute you.
okay. BRB.
Okay. Hello. So yeah. Who's actually? Because me and Adrian, our writer, we were talking crap about the story, like why was this even a story? But Gio had a mature take on it, which was, are we going to see more of this in video games, more concerts in video games? Are we going to see more musicians partnering up with developers to reach gamers? And yeah, so I don't know. How you guys feel about that? Because I remember watching, or when I found out that Travis Scott was having a concert in Fortnite, I was like, what? And so I watched YouTube videos of it, and I was like, yo, that actually looks pretty cool. Because it was like a big map, and it was a huge Travis Scott just performing his songs, and everyone just running around in the map. It was crazy. Those pop star followings are literally cults. Yeah. Oh yeah, like the K-pop stands. I mean, just the stan culture in general is getting pretty crazy these days. So it'll draw more people, even if they aren't interested in the game. Yeah, like say BTS. A lot of people all of a sudden wanted a bunch of uh mid tier, low tier actually chicken nuggets because McDonald's chicken nuggets aren't that great in my opinion. But yeah. So what was your angle with this Fortnite story, Gio? Is this? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, they're kind of weaponizing nostalgia. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold up, whoops, whoops, sorry. Oh, wait, stop. I forgot I muted you.
What?
Sorry, Joe.
Oh,
Say everything you just said was really good, and you gotta say
God
all that
damn
again.
it. All right. All right.
Gio's low
So
volume.
what I was saying is, okay. So my point to this story was that okay, the other part of it was Guile and Cammy were coming from Street Fighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which may not
Yeah,
seem like a big deal. When you think about all the different IPs they already have: Marvel, DC, Street Fighter. They have Ariana Grande there. There's a bunch more. The Predator,
yeah, weaponizing
Kratos,
nostalgia.
weaponizing nostalgia, right?
Mm-hmm.
So think about it. This is if we can get VR into Fortnite, then this is already Ready Player One because would be basically, imagine you zoom into Fortnite,
Mm.
you drop in. There's an Ariana Grande concert going on that you can watch, and then while everyone else is dressed as like their favorite superhero or costume character, it is essentially Ready Player One already. Like we're already there. Like it's as soon as we can get the VR technology on kind of a mass scale like that, we'll already be there. I don't know. That was kind of my spin, and also like think about like how concerts are going to be. What did I
Oh yeah, going
order?
forward.
Yeah,
Wait, what did you order first? You never
I ordered
answered.
I ordered I ordered spa,
Oh yeah, wait, you
but
did answer. I just forgot.
they they gave me like two things of soup. Did I ask for extra soup? No. Oh, they didn't even give me chopsticks.
I mean, you can like drink it.
Can't get nothing. I don't know how I'm gonna do. I'm probably just gonna have to get a fork from downstairs. It's kind of annoying, but what? This is so annoying.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
I just remembered that. Whatever. Anyways, moving on. What's the next story?
oh wait, so yeah, another story that did not make the show was Pokemon Go. The people behind Pokemon Go basically said, yeah, COVID's over, guys." Right, Joe?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Niantic they basically made a bunch of like COVID like modifications for the game because you can't really go outside and you know can't really interact with people because that's what the game was like. You would go outside to different Pokestops
Dude, I
and you
remember
could like
the first week Pokemon Go was available. I feel like that was like the closest we'll ever get to world peace.
yeah. I've heard that joke made several times before, and it's very much like kind of tone deaf on Niantic's part that like, yo, the Delta virus variant is still like raging, and you're like stopping people from being safe with COVID. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very much tone deaf on Niantic's part.
Wait, so what was their
Uh,
developments that they were going to do to make it easier for COVID era Pokemon going?
oh, so basically what they did is they made Pokemon like basically be able to kind of get to your place easier. They would spawn more in like more places, so you didn't have to go out and find them, and then you could actually like get to a Pokestop from your house. So like now, Niantic is basically saying like, all right, COVID's over. You can go outside now. Like we're gonna take all this stuff back, and people were like, yo, there's still a pandemic going on. Like, what's wrong with you?
So like you got to still travel to the gyms to defend them.
Exactly. Like I said, it's just Niantic not really listening. I mean, I'm sure. Well, I think we'll see them roll this back, but no. What was I gonna say? I think that's about it on that story.
Okay, and then the
All
next
right.
one we got is the Venom trailer, which actually looked pretty cool. Did you see the trailer?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch the first Venom. Did you?
Yeah, no, I didn't watch the first Venom either, and then I feel like probably should now because now with the multiverse of madness going on, like I guess the non Disney Marvel films are going to be canon, like Toby and Andrew Garfield, Spider Man. Like I'm getting that vibe that every Marvel movie is or is probably gonna have some sort of role in the next or in this current phase or something. I don't know.
I said. I mean, Woody Harrelson. I love Woody Harrelson. So we'll see what he can bring to Cletus Cassidy.
I couldn't buy him as the guy who becomes Venom. I so like
Venom. You mean Carnage?
it's just Woody Harrelson to me.
Oh, you mean as Carnage?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why
I mean, we all knew that when they made a Venom movie, like we knew that Carnage was going to be either the villain of this one or the sequel, and it's the villain of the second movie. We'll see. What's most interesting to me is that Andy Serkis is directing this. It's kind of random.
I didn't know that. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did he directed? I forgot another. Was it a Jungle Book? Because there were two versions of the Jungle Book. It was his version and John Favreau's. I'm gonna look this up. Andy,
Wait,
Circus.
did he?
Yeah,
Anyways, uh,
he had a good
I think
Jungle Book with a really good cast. But yeah, what were you saying?
what were we gonna say? So this movie comes out September 24th. I think we'll probably end up reviewing this. Actually, also I wanna put forward something to you, Mikey. Now that we're kind of
What's
talking
up?
about this, I think we should aim to do at least one review a week.
Okay. Wait, so
So
we have to watch a new movie every week? I mean, I'm down with that.
it doesn't have to be a movie. It could be like an album release, like what we did for Kanye.
Oh, okay. So, okay, what if nothing comes out on a week? Or we'll just review whatever movie that came out that week, even if
But
it's
yeah,
like crap.
we can. What we can do is I can kind of, that's my job as executive producer to kind of,
Yeah.
lay out. All right, this is what we're going to be reviewing,
Director. Oh, I
and
didn't
I think
know. Oh, yeah. But yeah, okay, I'm down with that.
I do because I do want to. There was a couple movies that I do want to review. That
Mhm.
one with Hugh Jackman, where he's going into memories.
Ooh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
on a Netflix movie, right? Not Netflix.
You know Netflix movie?
No. There was a Netflix movie that pretty much copied the same plot with the guy from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, fuck. What is his name?
I'm gonna look it
The
up.
dude from what's that movie called?
Jason
I
Segel.
forgot.
All right, now
Yeah,
look
that's
up
his name.
Jason Segel's sci-fi movie because it's exactly the same plot. The Discovery,
Yeah,
and then
I feel the Remnition movie. I kind of want to watch it. It gives me very much like Inception vibes.
mhm.
So
Oh
we
yeah,
can
no, I
do
definitely
that.
want
But
to watch that.
that one comes out definitely in like this month. So like I said, I'll try to figure out make a schedule
Oh
for
yeah,
these.
yes, yeah. Make a review schedule for like every week. I guess that'd be dope.
Yeah, like I can figure out what. Placido says Jason. That's right, Jason Segel. Um,
But yeah,
what do you want?
Oregon Wag was saying when the adult film industry starts getting heavy into VR, then you know it's about to get real. But Super Bass says actually the adult film industry VR is probably more popular than regular VR at the moment.
Is
Most
this like
people use
history
those
repeating
Oculus
itself?
headsets and Steam Valve Index for porn. You should review the old Fat Boys movies.
Shut up.
Wait, what does he mean by that?
It's an old rap group from like the early '90s, '80s named the Fat
Uh,
Boys. And they made some movies. We might as well review House Party too.
wait,
Not House
so
Party 2. House Party TOO.
okay, so all right, here are the movies that Andy Serkis has directed. The first one was he was a second unit director on the first two Hobbit movies,
Oh, interesting.
or all Hobbit movies actually. He was the second unit director for all of them. Turns out, and he was director for this movie called Breathe, with starring Andrew Garfield, Claire Foy, and it's about a movie about a guy that became paralyzed from the neck down by polio. Was it good? Hold on, let me look. Critical
Placido says
response. Huh?
Well,
Review.
Placido in the chat says review Tokyo Revengers. The
Do you know what that
anime or
is?
the live action movie?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there's an
Geo.
anime and a live action movie. So
That's his forte
um,
right there.
maybe. Hold on, my dog is bugging. I'm gonna go let her out real quick. Come on, let's
Okay.
go.
All right. So
Actually, I'm
what's
gonna
some
get a
other
fork
stories
too
you
while I'm
got? So yeah, the Venom trailer looked really good. I kind of makes me want to watch the first movie in preparation for the second one. And the next one is this is these are Geo stories. I don't know much about them. It's about the baby and Travis Scott. Oh yeah, the baby's been saying some out of pocket stuff, and people were like, "Yo, what's going on, baby?" And then yeah, and Astrobot, what's going on with Astrobot? Oh yeah, I don't even know. Oh, Halo is copying Fortnite. Halo might be getting into battle royale. That's actually kind of cool. Okay, Placio, you want to ask Gio to get into the anime? I'm pretty sure he's seen it, or maybe he's seen a lot of anime. Like when he was talking to me about Moet anime, I was like, the only Moet I know is the champagne, like Moet poppin' at the end of Biggie Smalls. For the Biggie Small song. Well, the baby has one rap cadence, so F them. Tokyo Revengers is dope AF. Second best anime this year. Only has one rap. Okay, I got you. Only has one rap. Okay. I got the
Oof, I
gist
don't
of
know
what you're
about
saying.
that, Chief.
What?
Uh, I was gonna say Tokyo Revengers is
Second best
second best
anime
anime
this
this
year.
year.
Wait, how do you feel
Mm,
about that? Was that a
nah,
spicy take?
I don't feel like that's accurate in my opinion, right?
Okay, well, name
Um,
your top
I think
animes of
Jobless
the year so
Reincarnation is
far.
definitely up there.
Wait, what's your best animes of the year so far?
Oh God.
Oh god,
Okay, I
okay.
would say for
I
me
asked the question.
the best, best one for me has probably been uh Jobless Reincarnation. I also really liked I've been killing slimes for over 300 years and I somehow maxed my level, which is not it's not an amazing anime, but it ticks my
Oh
boxes.
no.
It's very like a slice of life, just kind of cute stuff. Um, Wonder Egg Priority was up there, but oh god, they botched that so bad, so bad. I think I made it a story how they announced that it was going to be a 1 hour like finale, and I was super hyped for it. I don't know if you remember that story, Mikey,
Thanks for the follow, Epic
but
Pods. But yeah, no, I don't.
yeah, I love that anime. All right, you corny as fuck. Shut up! I don't want to hear shit from the man with 300 fucking Godzilla figures. All right, fuck off.
Okay, but
Mm,
so what's going on with the Astrobot? I mean Astrobot, the Travis Scott, Travis Scott Astrobot. Travis Scott and A24
Astro
team up
World.
for an album
Yeah, so
film.
they're teaming up for an. I didn't like your eternity. I didn't care for it. Um, what was I gonna say?
Whatever,
Um,
bitch.
I was gonna say. Basically, they're teaming up for an album slash like movie. So it's gonna be some type of like combo.
So is it going
I
to be
don't know
like
how it's gonna
that
work.
Beyonce album, that visual album? Do you remember that?
I I could kind of see that. I know. Do you think Kanye make a visual like movie for Cruel Summer too? But it was never released publicly. I think they just showed it at a film festival.
Oh yeah,
Did you hear about that?
yeah. I remember it's like across 6 screens, right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
I think it starred Kid Cudi too.
hmm, we're all dorks here. Calm down.
Speak for yourself, Super Bass. I'm a cool guy. Um,
Stupid.
no, I'm probably the biggest loser here. I have waifu pillows. All right,
He
so
does. He does.
um, I have three actually, and I have my I don't think I've shown you this, Mikey. 'Cause you're gonna make fun of me. But I have my Bunny Girl Senpai plush figure. So
Wow.
this is my favorite. This is my one of my favorite animes of all time. Rascal Did Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
Do you sleep with them?
Tears. I had tears. My pillows, yeah. The plushes, I don't know. They kind of get thrown around my room a lot.
Okay. Alright.
But the pillows, I kind of just use it because I don't have a lot of good like neck support on my pillows because I need to buy new ones. So I kind of just stack them under a blanket because I'm super degen. Anyways, um,
Okay.
this Travis Scott story. I don't know. I'm kind of excited for it. Geo's hit the bar of no return. Yeah, I kind of lost it during COVID. I've lost my sanity. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like that. I'm like the ancient alien guys, and I'm like waifus. But um,
Waifus.
waifus. But yeah, this Travis Scott's thing. I mean, we don't really know more about it, but A24 is classic.
Yeah.
They make hits.
Yeah. If you
So
see the A24 logo, you know you're gonna be in for some interesting things. And so yeah.
like even
So
if the movie
what?
doesn't even if the movie doesn't hit, you know it's something interesting,
Mm-hmm.
or at least it's gonna be well made.
Yeah. And
So
then, so, all right. So moving on to this next story is the babies. You give the headline, "The baby stop being the homophobe."
homophobe. Yeah, no. So the baby. Ah, man. How do I feel about the baby? I think the dude is. I think he makes some decent songs that are like catchy. I don't think he's an amazing rapper. I
Mm-hmm.
think the baby is hit almost a point where the younger generation, the Zoomers, they love him because he's almost like a meme.
Oh, it's like Lil
I
Beat,
don't know. Have
but
you listened to the
you,
baby, or
no,
have
I
you
haven't.
seen him around or heard of it?
Like, is he a meme? Like how Lil B's a meme?
You know what?
But like, I've
Yeah,
listened
kind
to a
of.
little bit of his music, and it's like, okay, seems like his music is obviously better than Lil B's.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so the baby, he was at Rolling Loud, which was this big, like, I don't want to call it a hip hop festival, but it is, but it's, I don't know. I'm kind of an old head when it comes to like rap music. So like these, like, I don't even consider like these new rappers like hip hop. They're like some type of other thing. And I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not trying to be a Joe Budden, but I am a Joe Budden.
So it's like a pop
And
hop. I can't
but
stand a baby. I like the Sug song. I
he
haven't heard it.
he made a he made a comment basically insinuating that, gay people having sex is what brought about AIDS, which is untrue. Um, it's been disputed. I mean, that's been not disputed. It's been proven wrong through like scientific research and stuff that gay people having sex doesn't bring about AIDS. But I think this kind of shows one kind of the lack of education we have in the United States, and it's sad because the baby is, like I said, the Zoomers love him, and it's dangerous because if he says stuff like that, then that could be misconstrued to younger people who don't know any better. And we don't want to have kind of these hateful stigmas being perpetuated over and over again. So when the
Mm.
baby did this, basically he got called out by Glad and Elton John and a couple other celebrities like Dua Lipa, who was on a remix of one of her songs, and basically saying like, "Yo, like, why are you saying this? Like, this is wrong." And the baby basically made a video where he doubled down saying like, "Oh, well, this is just how I feel. Y'all just hating, blah blah blah. I didn't mean anything bad, but you know, it's very hip hop is pretty homophobic in general." So yeah, you're not
Yeah.
wrong. It really is.
Mm.
And it goes to show to you like the lack of education. Like a lot of these rappers come from very low socioeconomic neighborhoods, and where we don't have the best schools and knowledge and access because they're busy worrying about so and the hip hop isn't exactly homophobic. I mean, not just homophobic. It is it can be very homophobic, um, but also very misogynist. But
Oh
then it's
yeah.
also one of those things where if you're from kind of the area where I am, right, one of our like classic rappers is Too Short, right? We love
Right.
Too Short in the Bay Area, right?
Right.
But the thing is, every single not every single, but many Bay Area feminists will be the first one to yell "bitch" during "Blow the Whistle." Like it's one of those things where it is misogynistic. We do have
Mm.
homophobia, but hip hop, you know, the spirit of the music itself isn't homophobic, but because of kind of the conditions that a lot of these rappers live in and kind of the lack of education that we have, is that those unfortunate ignorant sentiments kind of flow into the music. I was listening to an old Jay-Z song, and he uses the F word with the hard T, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was very much like, yo, like I've never like noticed this before, and it was very jarring because back in the day, in like the early 2000s,
Yeah, that was the
like
norm.
we didn't really like consider that word like a big deal, and now, kind of,
Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
we kind of
Mm-hmm.
progressed and language changed, and now we're kind of like, yo, like don't say that,
Yeah, we're getting it's like we're
yeah.
getting
But anyways,
cultural
he ended
awareness.
up
Is
losing
yeah.
sponsorships, and he put out
What?
yeah. So like he put down another statement. I mean, it was also like speaking of like rappers being homophobic and stuff. Like Ti made a statement where he was like saying like, "Oh well." if y'all gonna live, gay people live freely, then y'all gotta let the baby live freely and speak his truth. Which there's no correlation. Like, that's not like freedom of speech or anything. Basically, gay people just exist. That's just how they are. They're born gay. That's just who they are. And just because some like rapper people are saying, yo, that's not right, or he's losing sponsorships because he said something that's homophobic and false, and can lead to a lot of like bad stigmatism. Like, that's not freedom of speech. Like, it's not him. He is still able to go out there and live freely. Meanwhile, gay people have been for the longest time been oppressed, looked down upon. There have been violent attacks on them. Throughout, and it wasn't until recently that the society is becoming more and more accepting, and that's still not like 100%. Like, there are still people who get killed for being gay or trans. So it's mind-boggling. It's frustrating. And yeah. Let's move on to the next story.
Okay.
It irritates me.
Yeah. So yeah.
I need some soup.
And yeah, the baby is messed up. But yeah, and so the next story. Can T'Challa lead Avengers to success? Because in preparation for the War of Wakanda, Square Enix and Disney have dropped an animated trailer showing up of T'Challa's origins in this game, as well as a fractured relationship with Shuri. Will this lure new players and returning players into the game? The campaign was praised, while the multiplayer was seen as a disappointment. Wait, is it the Avengers game? Yeah, okay.
Did you watch the trailer, Mikey?
No, I'll watch it right now. Let's watch it.
Yeah. Thought it was pretty good. Are we gonna watch it live?
Yeah. Here, hold on. Let me. Whoops. Let's. Whoops. How do I do this? Bam. Wait a minute. Oh. Whoops. Actually, I'm doing the getaway. Alright, let's watch it. Wait, I didn't do it right.
Okay, while you're doing that, Base in the chat says the baby comes off as closeted to me, honestly.
There we go.
I feel like dude's definitely doing shit behind closed doors. I mean, I'm not one to speak on someone's sexuality, but I think there is a lot of like correlation to people who are homophobic actually being gay themselves. So, I mean, there's that. So, yeah, homophobia is not cool. Not cool at all.
I agree. Okay.
Ten centuries is a long time to remain unconquered. We were bound to face a real challenge. I did not expect.
So is the Avengers game kind of like Final Fantasy 14? Is it working like that?
Nor did I expect that the Avengers would be
there's
on
like
their way here.
a campaign.
Will they help us?
Where it's like single player, you play through the story, and then the rest of it is just kind of like a beat 'em up 4-player with like upgradable loot.
Like his father before him.
So kind of more like the Division, or like melee combat.
An impeccable Black Panther. And yet, his death left deep scars on T'Challa's soul. How can you prepare for every threat when half of those threats live inside your own head? Fear of betrayal, of endangering those.
Does the game have a lot of these scenes, or was this just made for this DLC?
But she felt the shift in her brother,
for the DLC,
and she learned a very different lesson. If she had challenged King Suyan, how different would Wakanda be? But Bast does not make mistakes. T'Challa is the Black Panther. He will never be alone, no matter how much he tries to guard his heart. If the unconquered realm is to have any hope of repelling this threat, the children of T'Chaka will have to work together.
Oh, shit.
And I fear even that may not be enough.
Alright, that's cool. I'm Not gonna play the game still, but like that was cool.
If the game comes out for like $20-$30, I might pick it up.
All right, so hold up. As the last comment on that, I don't see how that conversation would even come out of their mouth for any reason. Oh, wait, the baby thing. But yeah. That reminded me of Twisted Metal, the Twisted Metal games. Do you remember when you play those games and like you get those cutscenes, but they're like kind of like graphics and give you all that lore? It reminded me of that, and now I want Twisted Metal back again. Instead, we got whatever that PlayStation game was.
Did you play that at all?
Oh, Destruction All Stars. No,
I played I played it for like an hour.
How does it compare?
It's not as good. It's well made and well polished, but it has a lack of players and a lack of content. So, I mean, I think it's smart that they put it out as a free game, but yeah.
So next topic, we got Astrobot. Big plans from the Little Robot Studio. The creators of Astro's Playroom tease a new ambitious game.
Yeah, I mean, there was this story was kind of I just threw it on there because like there were 20 stories that we needed to fill.
Okay,
but basically they're teasing a brand new game that they says that it's better than anything before, or bigger, not better, bigger than anything they've had before. So
okay. So developer says their game is going to be big. Okay.
Yeah, essentially, it's kind of a throwaway story.
Yeah. All right, and then Halo is going to get into Battle Royale?
Yeah, a bunch of data leakers have basically found proof that there's going to be a Battle Royale mode into Halo because they found clips in like the data that they went through that the Halo announcer saying Battle Royale or something like that, and that they found out other leaks for like the game and the stuff. But I don't know. Do you think that the Battle Royale kind of trend is still popping, or do you think that's kind of died off? Like we already have the one.
It's definitely still popping. Warzone's still going off. Fortnite still happening. Apex is still popping off. Like people love the Battle Royale concept.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Do you think it's viable for any newcomers to hop into Battle Royale? Because you already named like 3 or 4 like really big established ones. Can anyone hope to compete and get into that space?
I mean, if anyone were to compete, it would be the Halo franchise.
True.
Right?
True.
And, Super Bass saying, man, the PSVR sounds exciting. I'm disappointed it's attached to a console, though. It's got rid of my consoles because they were honestly just collecting dust. Oh, speaking of consoles. Hold up.
So,
Amazon had a lightning deal.
Okay.
And I bought black plates that no one except me is going to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it... Yeah.
Fair enough.
Black on black.
Fair.
PS5, yeah. It's going down.
All right, let's move on to the next story.
Yeah, Sony has been a brand that has made me buy consoles just to play a handful of games. Though, true. All right, next.
True. I mean, kind of before we move on, Super Bass. I don't know if you were watching us, but a couple weeks ago, Sony purchased. What was the name of the company? They purchased a company that was basically known for porting PC games. So, I mean, they already have Horizon and what's the other one? Damn, what was the game that you liked, Mikey, that you were playing earlier this year? The zombie one. Days Gone.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they already ported Days Gone and Horizon onto PC. So if you want to play Sony games, you just probably have to wait a little bit longer. I mean, it kind of seems like they're moving onto that path of porting games onto PC.
And then, so this next story, Avatar, the Blue Alien movie, is having a tabletop. Wait, is it? Or is it not the tabletop blue one?
No, you know damn well it wasn't. Did you?
I didn't read the story.
God damn it! It's the Last Airbender.
Oh, okay, that makes it even more cooler. Okay, I thought it was like a Blue Alien tabletop game. No, that's interesting.
They're making a an Avatar tabletop role playing game that takes place. It's like Avatar. What was it? Legends. There we go. Avatar Legends, a
Okay.
role playing game, and it takes place in the world of Avatar, where both characters from Korra and characters from The Last Airbender are
But
there. And
okay.
uh, one question I want to do is this was kickstarted, but as we can see, Viacom CBS has the money to make this happen.
Obviously.
Is it fair for fully licensed like properties like this that have backing of these huge corporations to make these projects be created from Kickstarters? Or is it just kind of another sham?
I mean, maybe it's a combination of both, and also if the fans want it, they're obviously selling out their money and be like, "Yo, I want this to happen. Here's my money."
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
And
I
like,
guess.
maybe it could be like a better way to get a focus group. Like, hey, would you guys like this idea? And then people will decide with their money, or like fund with their money. So yeah, that's okay.
I think
We'll see how that's.
I would be
off.
down to play an Avatar tabletop game. That sounds like fun.
It's kind of a sham, says Super Base, but if the company doesn't want to invest, I suppose it gives people who want it have some pull. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, I see. Because we see Viacom.
Yeah,
they gave South Park almost $1 billion, and now oh, if y'all want this, you have to, basically fund it yourselves.
Yeah. We're trying to reach a goal of 50,000, and they did.
They made 2.4 million. In fact, you know what?
Wow.
That was when I wrote the story, which was on what? On Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Let's see how much they're at now. Let me
The goal for the Kickstarter is 50,000, and now it's at 2.4 million. That's a lot of devoted fans. Funny how Viacom. Wait, go ahead. How much?
They're at 3.5 million.
3.5 million for a Kickstarter that had a goal of 50,000. I feel like this game might happen.
Crazy. What can you get with this? Let me look at the
tiers.
Let me look at
the rewards.
The
Weaponized nostalgia, right?
Weaponized nostalgia
is going to ruin everything you love.
I mean, if it hasn't it already. Let me look at what the most you can get. Okay, so for $200 or more on the Flying Bison tier, you get deluxe dice bag, special cover, a core book plus all stretch goals. You get the deluxe dice. I already said that. You get a hardcover core book with your choice of Aang or Korra on the cover, with the other on the back cover, and all PDF rewards and all physical stretch goals unlocked during the campaign. I'm pretty sure they've hit all their stretch goals, but let's look at what those are. Stretch goals. Let's see. Got to pull down add-ons. Stretch goals. Okay. So the first stretch goal was a dice pack. Six pairs of six-sided dice customized for Avatar Legends RPG. 4 Nations cloth map. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Action combat deck, which is a 54 card deck designed to give you easy tracking for combat exchanges, useful during all exciting action sequences. A dice bag. It's a velvety soft bag with a drawstring and clip spring fastener.
A bag.
New core playbook. New NPC legend. So Tenzin, a new NPC legend to introduce your game. Legends are mentors and masters with the ability to teach new techniques and expand the PC training and abilities. I don't know what that means. Another new core playbook. Adventure booklet.
So it's a bunch of stuff, pretty much.
All right, let me see what the last one is. Because usually new NPC legends. So the last one is just expanded booklet. Yeah, this seems cool. You know what? When does this expire? I might be down to get all this stuff so we can all play. It's only one person needs it, right?
I don't know.
I think so. I might be down to put
Yeah.
$200 to
I'm down to play it,
to.
but I don't want to like buy it though.
I might be down.
All right, so yeah, next story is Ghost of Tsushima. They announced, or Sony announced, that you can buy their multiplayer mode separately, and yeah, and
Yeah, what do you think of this?
it's
Do
whatever.
you think this is a trend that they'll continue in other games? Like,
Oh
I know the
yeah,
last two,
Mm.
they were supposed to have a multiplayer mode, but it never got it never happened. So, or supposedly it's still on the way. But do you think they'll do the same thing? And like, if you want like The Last of Us 2, but just want to buy the multiplayer, then you can buy for $20.
I
You can
mean,
get this mode.
probably because remember in the PSVR story, they're saying like, look, if you want to, you only download the version that you will be playing on.
Right.
So then, I feel like having that like option to download certain things or like certain modes, it's not too far off from that. Like,
Yeah.
and it's same with the Call of Duty. Like, you can have the option. I mean, you download all of them eventually, but you can have the option to download the Warzone part first, or the campaign part first, or the multiplayer. I think. I don't play Call of Duty, but yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I feel like that we'll be seeing a lot of that. And
I agree. I think this is the trend moving forward.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we move back to the thing where one studio develops the single player and another studio develops multiplayer, and just
Yeah.
put them out. Yeah.
All right, and then the
All
last
right.
story is my story, UFC, because there's a UFC fight today. Derek Lewis, you guys might have seen him in his post-fight interviews. He says a lot of funny stuff. He's like, after a fight, he took off his shorts and said, "My balls were hot," or swaying and banging, or he's like, Ace Town up in this hoe because he's from Houston, and yeah, he's just a funny ass dude. But he's fighting for the interim heavyweight belt. Whoever wins this fight tonight will be fighting the monster that is Francis Ngannou. Because yeah, that dude is a beast. And yeah, and there's also other fights going on. I forgot, but that's the main one, the main event. Derek Lewis. That's the one to watch because I'll be surprised if that goes past 4 rounds. Oh, and also Jose Aldo, former UFC champion. He's the co-main, fighting an up-and-comer. There's a lot of hype behind this guy named Pedro Munoz. And this is pretty much a test. Like, is Pedro Munoz a top 5 fighter? Well, we'll find out if he defeats Jose Aldo. But if I were a betting man, I would. That's a really good fight. I don't know. I'll put my money on Pedro. And then also Michael Chiesa, 18-4, fighting Vincent Luke. Yeah, that's a good one. There's a lot of good matchups here, but a lot of fighters that aren't well known. But there's some good ones. Bantamweight, we got a 16-5 guy fighting 16-3. So someone's gonna get their 17th win. And a women's strawweight fight. These two have fought before, and I think there's some beef now. So yeah, it's a good one. So yeah, this is not the most exciting card, but I feel like these fights will deliver. If you want some action, yeah, if you want some controlled violence inside of a cage, this card is not a bad one to miss.
They excuse me. I only know Jose Aldo from when you were hyping him up. And he got like
knocked down
in like
6
2
seconds.
punches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
I remember we were at work and you were watching it and you were like, dude, what? You were yelling.
Dude, I was like there are 3 moments that shocked me in MMA. One was that. The second one was Anderson Silva breaking his ankle. And then the third one was the Uriah Hall spinning kick. Because I was like, oh my god. But then he lost last weekend, so yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to go to some MMA events when they actually have some around us, because the last one I went to was when Demetrius Johnson was still in the UFC. card
Is
doesn't
he
make
not?
me go wow. I need to watch it, but I'll probably watch. Right, I need to watch it, but I'll probably watch it anyway. Yeah, like MMA is kind of like that's my main sport. Like it's I watch every single card pretty much, even it was like the fight nights, because sometimes they usually deliver. Like the unknown fighters always trying to make a show, always trying to make a name, always trying to make a highlight reel,
Yeah.
knockout or finish, and then but yeah, usually fights have been a toss up lately. Yeah, no. Wait, what do you mean by that? Super based. Like toss up as the matchups are so good that you can't really decide who will win, or toss up in like quality, like they just throw whoever against each other. Like Luke Rockhold is fighting Sean Strickland, who just beat Uriah Hall last week. Like it's either really good or really bad. Okay, yeah, okay, what you're saying, or really bad. Oh, where's your general feelings towards MMA, Gio? Like, do you? Because I know you don't like go out of your way to watch them.
It's cool. It's some like if there's big names fighting, then it's like an event, and it's cool to watch with your friends with a couple drinks and some food. But I'm not really into like the technical stuff of like MMA, and
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like if they have like a big fight, then it's to me it's kind of like a Super Bowl, or like it's an event,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is like a good way to like hang out with friends. And of course you're gonna have me who like is a casual, and like you who's more of a knowledgeable, who's gonna it's a good time to be had by all, right? But like
Yeah.
if I'm not gonna like I'm not like you, I'm not gonna watch it every week or whatever. I only watch like the big fights. Not that I think MMA is like
Mhm.
something that I wouldn't watch, but there are definitely more technical aspects that are not as spectacular. But if if you're into kind of that type of thing, then you
Yeah.
can recognize
Yeah, like
the
I know
the
jiu-jitsu
technique.
is not fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
And grappling is it's not fun to watch. Yeah. Like and it's like
Yeah.
especially
So,
if you've never had any like if you ever grappled at all, you're just like, oh, it's just a bunch of dudes just hugging on the ground.
mhm, exactly.
Yeah, because that's how I was before. And the reason I'm into MMA as much as I am is because it's just so much easier to keep track than any ball sport. Because think about basketball, you got to think the teams, the coaches, and then like injuries and like, oh, how's that? One person is injured. How's that affect? Like there's hella variables. But with
Yeah.
MMA, for me, it's like all I have to do if you really want to like follow a sport, just follow the top 10 or follow the top 15 even. But yeah, the top 10 is really all you need to follow because that's where all the big fights are anyway. And
Yeah.
because like compared to like baseball or football, like 32 people on a team and it's representing one team, or just one person representing themselves. And like I feel like that for me it's much easier to keep track and remember all these like names and stuff. Because like when people talk about basketball, like I hear these names, but like I don't know how to react. Like Jason Tatum, I know he's hella good, but like I couldn't tell you anything about him.
Mm. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I never realized why people were so fanatical about basketball or football, but it's all the gambling that makes it exciting. Working from home, I watched all the tough seasons on Hulu. Oh yeah, tough was what got me. Actually, no, it was the Pride FC footage, like way back in the day, because I saw this fighter named Shogun just stopping people's faces with his foot, and they're like, "Yo, what the heck? That is so violent!" Like, and the referee was just like, "Okay, he's still in the fight." I was like, "What the heck? What kind of sport is this?" And then that's how I found anime. And then
Shogun.
like a few months later, that's when the first season of Tough premiered, and then I've been a fan ever since.
Wasn't
But
Shogun in UFC?
yeah, he was
I
one of
think
the first people that got signed from the Pride the Japanese organization.
Didn't he fight some dude that drank his own piss?
Yeah, Lyoto Machida, and he also fought John Jones, which John Jones stole his soul because Shogun was never the same after that.
Yeah, I've noticed that kind of happens with some fighters. Like Ronda Rousey, after she got beat, was like,
Yeah, no. Like once
yeah.
they lose their aura, some people fall off really hard.
I think Conor McGregor is one of those guys.
Yeah,
too.
Conor McGregor, Chuck Liddell, trying to think of other fighters. Oh man, that Volkanovski Max Holloway fight was good. Yeah, dude, that's the smaller weight classes like are the ones to watch in my opinion. Mostly because I'm of similar size. But yeah, would you be down to go to an MMA event?
Mm-hmm. I'm down.
Okay.
I mean, how much would tickets normally be?
On
Depends on the
average,
fight, or they kind of
well,
like what?
a regular fight night card cost me about $70. Yes, I don't know if you want to.
70 to $100. I'm down.
Yeah, because I try to go to all the MMA events in our area, like the Bay Area, NorCal, and if it's SoCal, like I'll maybe think about it. But yeah, but I really wanted to go to the Vegas. I've never been to a Vegas UFC card, and I feel like that would be really fun, especially the after parties. And also, Nick
Ooh.
Diaz is fighting Robbie Lawler, and plus that's a Nick Diaz returning. Like I really would like to see that, but I also feel like that fight's going to be disappointing.
Stockton, homie.
Yeah. But yeah. Anything else you want to talk about on the show? We can wrap it up here.
What? Oh, you want to do spoiler talk?
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. All right, you guys haven't seen spoilers for, or are you doing both movies?
We can do both. I mean, I don't know if I'll have much to say about Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, no,
But-
okay, no, let's not do Junk Cruise. So we're going to be talking spoilers for those who ask what, which just came out yesterday. So if you haven't been able or had a chance to watch it, yeah, sorry, we're about to spoil stuff. But yeah, what would you say is your favorite moment? Or yeah, favorite moment. Not funniest, but favorite. Or actually, they could be both.
Favorite moment is when the secretary comes in with the phone. Yo, that was so unnecessary. Okay, it's not really my favorite moment, but it definitely like. Okay, so there's a scene. I think it's like right before they break, or right after they break into the scientific facility, and the secretary comes into where all the generals are, and just they're out there.
Like she's
bouncing.
like hopping, and like her
and it's like
her boots are
that's
just like
so unnecessary.
like yeah like I forgot what the preceding scene was. Just like okay whatever, and then out of nowhere, this woman's just like, and then like the way the shot was like it just you see Hella bouncing. I was like what okay, and then he's like okay thank you, and then that was it. That was it for her. I was like what.
Okay, that's not my favorite scene, but definitely it was like, what the fuck, James Gunn? Like that was just there for no reason.
For what the fuck, James Gunn? It was, my favorite shot was the dramatic shot of the shark looking out the window. I was like, why was that there? I was like, oh, we're getting a shark scene. I was like, no, that was just a random dramatic shot of the shark just looking at people out the window. I was like,
okay, so
okay.
I would say, like we both talked about this earlier, that if you haven't seen this movie, don't watch it. Well, I mean, if you haven't seen this movie, you probably wouldn't be watching spoiler.
Okay.
But the trailer gave away too much.
Dude, yeah. Like when they went to go have Operation Harley, and I was like, well, what are you guys doing? We're trying to save you. I was like, dude, why was that in the trailer?
I honestly think they should have kept Starro a secret. Because that was in the trailer too.
Yeah. And like, dude, they spoiled so much stuff in the trailers. Like, why are trailers spoiling so many things these days?
I don't know. Also, so let's talk about the post-credit scenes.
Oh,
right?
with the weasel?
I knew he was alive. Like, I just had that gut feeling. I was like, Weasel isn't dead. He's alive.
Wait, so is Weasel is obviously a DC Comics character? Does he like not die? Is that his thing?
No, I you know what? I don't really know much about Weasel. Let me look him up because I know he's a character, but I don't know much about him. Yeah, he is a DC comic character, but I've never really read much about him.
Super Bass says, I like the
But
whole blood sport and them being scared of rats. I was like, they better not kill off this rat. The whole movie I was just, dude,
oh, yeah.
I was cracking up when the rat was like trying to say hi, and there was like, what the hell? Like, was that rat saying trying to say hi?
Everyone was like,
And then
is
look,
that right
look, he's
after
trying
me?
to give you a leaf. And then it's just Elba, the way the way he just Elba delivers this line is like, why the fuck would I want a leaf? And also the way he delivers this other line. Oh look, he's offering you a pretty leaf. The other line that this is my favorite scene. My favorite scene that gave me the biggest laugh was the show off battle between Peacemaker and Bloodsport. And then
And John,
yeah, and it's like, why are you doing that? Oh, because it looks dope as fuck. And he's like, fuck, he's right. Or no, fuck, that's true.
yo, that whole like fucking show off battle scene cracked me up. Oh man, like when he killed that guy, when he shot the fan and the fan went into his nuts.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I felt bad for that random guy. Imagine dying that way.
Dude, yeah. Oh, imagine being a freedom fighter and then a bunch of people just kill you because they thought you were the government. Dude, that made me laugh too.
Fucking
It was like, oh, why wasn't I notified of you guys' presence?
people.
Yeah. And then the next
Yeah,
shot is just
yeah.
everyone's laying dead on the ground.
Yeah,
They're giving
yeah.
each other some hilarious looks during that show-off scene. Yeah, like I was dying.
That shit was fun. Damn. Okay, the opening scene. Holy shit.
Dude, I was
Like,
cracking up when TDK got lit up, and it was just his arms getting shot up, and he's like, I was like,
Or the scene with Javelin with Harley
yeah.
when he's like, "You're the only one who can carry the javelin for," and he dies, and she's like, "For who? For who?"
Dude, yeah, I thought they were about to
Yeah.
do a Kung Pao scene, like, just because I dare like this doesn't mean I'm dead. Have you seen that movie?
A long time ago.
Okay. Like, wee
I remember from that is what's the what is it? What do you get when you cross a bungee cord with an owl
What?
or something like that? It was like my ass, and then they start laughing. It's like that makes no sense.
That's so
Fucking
stupid.
Kung Pao.
It's so stupid.
but
Made me
yeah,
laugh. Kung Pao is
that
a classic.
fucking
Too. Yeah, it is.
the fucking opening scene when they just started lighting people up. I was like, oh shit! Like I knew like most of these characters were gonna die,
Mm-hmm.
but like I didn't expect it to be like almost damn near all at once.
Yeah, dude. And then I didn't expect. I thought Boomerang was going to be, part of the cast. I mean, he was part of the cast, but like part of the squad that goes through the movie.
That lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's gone. Captain Boomerang is gone. I was actually surprised they killed him off too. I wasn't surprised they killed off Rick Flag either, but I was
Yeah.
very sad about that. I like Rick Flag in this movie. I didn't care for him in the first one, but I
Yeah.
really liked him in this one. And it seems like him, Harley, and Boomer had like, yo, we've been through this before. Like they had like almost like a friendship.
And I like the old boy almost. I said that earlier. And
Yeah.
Harley Quinn's montage is what makes me want a James Gunn Harley Quinn movie, because that was pretty much Birds of Prey, like an extended scene from Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Peacemaker,
We
where'd you
both like
yeah, pretty dope dying line, because I love Peacemaker because of the direct influence of the comedian. Once you told me that the Peacemaker was the inspiration for the comedian in Watchmen, I was like, oh, okay, then yeah, I clearly see it.
Yeah, because like now for those of you who don't know, the Watchmen, actually the original pitch from Alan Moore was he was going to take DC characters who were bought by Charleston Comics, being Peacemaker, Peacemaker, Nightshade, The Question, Blue Beetle. Damn, who was Ozymandias supposed to be? I can't remember who Ozymandias was. But basically, Alan Moore pitched that to DC, and they were like, yo, we still kind of want to use these characters. And so what they ended up doing, what Alan Moore ended up doing, he ended up creating kind of versions or like homages to these characters. So like the Rorschach and the Question are kind of the mirror images of each other. The Comedian and Peacemaker and stuff like that. Super Bass says I really like Watchmen too. Yeah, Watchmen's a good movie. I would say it's Zack Snyder's best. I think mostly because the script doesn't deviate much from the comics. And I think Zack Snyder has a good eye for visual flair, visual effects, and spectacle. I think, I don't think he should have anything to do with the writing of a movie, but I think Watchmen was definitely Zack Snyder's best. Do you agree, Mikey?
Yeah, definitely. Well, no, wait. Zack Snyder's best movie or comic book movie?
Movie.
I disagree. Dawn of the Dead is his best movie.
I didn't care for Dawn of the Dead.
I love
But
Dawn of the Dead.
I don't really like zombie movies.
Huh. Wait, we forgot to talk about, are we excited for the Peacekeeper spin-off show?
I didn't want to mention that because it kind of spoils, like, I don't know, that he's alive at the end of the movie.
I mean, but it's already been announced and stuff that people know what's happening.
True.
Like, because
you're right.
When he died, I was like, oh, okay, so the Peacemaker, so it's gonna be a prequel of how he like, yeah. So I was like, ooh, that's interesting. And then the end credits is like, oh shit, he's alive. I was like, okay, now I'm just as interested as I was before in the spin-off show. So like, I'm down.
And it's gonna have I think it's gonna have all the Office people from the movie.
Oh, dude,
because like that's what one of them said. They were like, this revenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Waller's taking us with this guy for fucking betraying her or double crossing her.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I love the stuff. Like, yo, is Waller crazy? What is he doing? Like, and then that one. Does he even have a name? She just hits Waller over the head.
I don't think she has a name, or if she does, I didn't notice it.
And I thought it was funny afterwards, where Waller was giving her the side eye. I was like, oh snap!
Oh yeah, the whole crew. She was like, yeah.
But yeah, so do you want to see a Sinister Six movie? Oh, Gio would love that.
A Sinister Six or a Secret Six?
Yeah. Placido is saying Sinister Six.
Sinister Six that's the not Superman. That's the Spider-Man villains.
Oh,
which I think you would like more.
Yeah, I do. You gave me the comic.
If they can,
I read that.
You haven't fucking read it yet. The Superior Foes of Spider-Man. If they can make a Sinister Six movie and using that as the basis, I will love that because that's such a good comic book. And I don't really care for the Spider-Man villains, to be honest. Like, there's some good ones in there, but some of them are just kind of meh.
But what if we get the Sinister Six, from the Multiverse of Madness? Get a Sinister Six spinoff.
Oh, with all the classic, like Alfred Molina coming back and stuff?
Yeah.
Isn't
like,
what if
that movie pops off and everyone involved loves the experience of being part of a Marvel property again?
I'd be down for it. I'm not saying I wouldn't want it, but I'm just saying comic book wise, I don't think Spider-Man, in my opinion, has the best collection of villains. I think honestly, I think Shocker is kind of lame. I think the Rhino is kind of lame.
Yeah.
Venom is awesome. Venom and Carnage. Green Goblin is awesome. And I think Doc Ock, I think is awesome, but I think he can also have, if he's not written right, he's really easy to make him really corny.
My name is Earl saying most Marvel villains outside of the X-Men villains and Doctor Doom are kind of meh. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Man. Kraven though, I like Kraven.
Okay, Kraven's cool too. Yeah, that's a good one. But I think Spider-Man has a good cast of A tier villains, but it drops off from there. Really drops off. Shocker, Rhino. I think Scorpion's lame too.
I like the Vulture and Mysterio for the Spider-Man movies. Yeah, I really like how they did Mysterio, like with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I didn't care for Vulture or Mysterio at all before the
Really?
movies, and they did both of them really well.
Yeah, like I would like to see a Sinister Six with Michael Keaton's Vulture and Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio.
Well, he's dead, isn't he?
Wait. Oh yeah, no,
Mysterio
Mysterio is dead. I mean, but multiverse though, variants.
I mean, yeah. I guess. I mean, we'll see.
Maybe
see.
Well, Jake Gyllenhaal will fight his brother, Tobey Maguire.
God damn it.
Did you ever see that movie?
I
Brothers?
mean, I think Brothers? No.
No. Wait, what were you saying?
Is it good?
Is Tobey Maguire can act? Or is he?
What is the other Okay, anyways, going back to Secret Six. Not Secret Six, Suicide Squad.
Suicide, okay, yeah.
Going back to Suicide Squad. I'm trying to think what else. Polka Dot Man. I love Polka Dot Man.
Dude, yeah, when he was dancing in the club and they're all his mom, I was like, no.
I was like, oh my god. And he's like, oh my god.
Wait,
that scene when you first see.
Wait, what scene?
When you first see everyone that he sees as his mom, I was fucking dying.
I wasn't too happy about them bumping him off a Polka Dot Man. Yeah, like the way he died. Oh, actually, right before he died, I think Idris Elba had the best lines in the movie. It's like Polka Dot Man or
That's
whatever. That's your mom. I was like, wow.
Fucking Starro. Yo, those shits were creepy. Like, you see when one of them got ripped off someone's face and it's just like,
dude, yeah. The headshots were very, very graphic.
Speaking of which, I was laughing when Pete Davidson was the first one to die.
Yeah, it's like, hey, wait, that's a werewolf? I ain't trying to sit next to no werewolf.
I think Pete Davidson plays a good douchebag.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think who else in that movie. I mean, I think the first kind of characters that they just all killed off, like, they didn't really do much, but I think they kind of each had like a little moment of like laughter, like TDK and even Pete Davidson's character.
Yeah,
Javelin.
Yeah, every character like had a scene where delivers laughs.
I think the only one that like kind of was like whatever was Mongal.
Really? I was gonna say Michael Rooker.
Oh, I don't know. Michael Rooker, I think he was supposed to be kind of the guy that's like, we're seeing everything to him and seeing the madness, and he's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Savant.
And then what's another one? Yeah, we talked about the Harley scene.
Yeah.
Flag versus Peacemaker fight. Oh, I really like that. It was like the Raid. Like, the way they were fighting hand to hand, like, it was like watching the Raid, but in a DC movie. Like, it was that kind of, like, brutal violence. I was like, this is what's up.
Peacemaker, what a joke. Oh, my goodness. Who else? What else? What did you think of The Thinker?
Wait, who's it? Oh, the Hellraiser dude?
Yeah.
I don't think too much of him.
Yeah,
like, I didn't think, like, he didn't really give me any kind of impression. Like, okay, that's a villain, and then, like, that was it. Like,
he was kind of just like a plot device.
Yeah.
Although I thought it was kind of interesting when, like, he kind of spiels about how Americans were the ones who found Starro and brought him to this island to do all the experiments. So I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And then, like, when all the Starro people were like, he's been experimenting on me for 30... I kind of feel bad for Starro. Like, at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I was happy just floating in space looking at the stars. I was like, damn. I feel bad for him. Because, like, he was just there chilling in space. And these Americans, like, astronauts took him in.
Yeah, and there's another scene. I was dying at the Milton scene like Milton. I was like, because I was saying in my head, I was like, who the fuck's Milton? And then literally a second later, Harley Quinn's like, who the fuck's Milton? I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah. It's like, you're the guy, it's that guy. And then we see the guy, I was like, oh, that guy. And then he literally says the same thing. I was like, oh, okay.
Why was he? I was watching it. I was like, why is he still with them? Oh, poor Milton. Oh, and at the end, I'll be your friend, Milton. Not my name. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like that's
And then and the police staff was like, yo, we got a freaking kaiju up in this shit. And then after Waller got knocked out, the lady was like, she's turned to some random dude who's like, get on the satellite, Dale, you fucking dickhead. I was like, I was uncalled for, but okay.
so good. It's so fucking good. I love this movie.
Yeah, talking about it makes me want to rewatch it again now, actually.
I might watch it again, to be honest. It's so good. Thank you, HBO Max.
3 times within a weekend? Damn. That good?
I love this movie. It ticks my boxes. Also, the scene when the president was like, "Oh, marry me, Harley," blah blah blah, like that whole part.
Yeah.
I was convinced until she shot him. I was convinced that it was gonna be like Harley Quinn in her own like delusions while being tortured or something.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was a play, but it wasn't.
Yeah, this movie shocked me a lot, actually. Like the plot development was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh shit. Like James Gunn pulls it out. He did a good job.
Yeah.
And then, so what do you want? If you had the choice, would you rather have James Gunn stay in DC or keep doing Marvel stuff?
No, I'd have him stay in DC.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Wait, what did you say?
I feel like they need more. They need the help more.
Yeah, and obviously, and also, have you seen Super that he did with Rainn Wilson?
No, but I heard it's dark and it's good.
Yeah, it's same vibes. Like, I feel like the tone that we got with Suicide Squad is his bread and butter. Like with all the goriness and stuff, and like because he got canceled for being super edgy because that's his sensibilities as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Like a lot of his earlier stuff were pretty edgy, and yeah. And
he was a shock guy.
Yeah, I did things for shock value, but yeah. So I think that's pretty much.
What was I gonna say?
What else?
I'm trying to think of. There's another scene. That I couldn't think of.
I mean,
the fucking little like the shark, king shark and like the piranha fishes.
Oh, and you guys getting eaten up.
I was like, I thought he died in that scene. Like, King Shark, does he not die? Like,
that's why I was like, okay, he's the Hulk.
He really is. Like, he had those piranha fishes kill him, and look how adorable. And then you see their teeth, and you're like, oh fuck. Yeah. And then he got shot up.
Dude, he got lit the hell up. Like, it was like, dude,
lit the fuck up.
It was so bad. And then like the scene where he was just walking, like looking at the aquarium, I thought it was like another one of the dramatic shot of the shark. I was like, okay, this is so random. Why are you putting this in there? And then, but then the piranhas are evil.
Yeah, that cracked me up. You know Sylvester Stallone? I didn't know that until the credits.
No, I saw him in the opening credits. I was like, okay, cool. We're going to see Sylvester Stallone. And I was waiting to see him. And I was like, okay, well, who was he? And then I guess he was the shark.
Yeah, he's the voice of the shark.
Yeah, I was like, oh. I should have known that. Or I should have heard that. But I didn't.
Yeah. That is funny.
Oh, and then, what?
Starfish is slang for butthole. You think there's a connection? And Waller just looks at him like, no.
Oh, and
also the first scene where they introduce Peacemaker, he's just like there, like at the door, like, and then Waller is like, basically says the same shit she said about him that she said about Bloodsport.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Are you having a laugh?" Like he does the same thing I do. Same but better.
And then
oh my god, I'm
the
so excited for the Peacemaker show.
and the
Next
fuck
is
you battle
good, right?
between Idris Elba and his daughter, that made me laugh too. It's
Oh
like fuck you, fuck you, fuck
yeah.
you, fuck you.
You, you really wouldn't kill his kid, would you do that? You wouldn't know half of what I would do.
And then also Shark pretty much had the Finding Nemo scenes like Shark don't eat friends. Like they pretty much recreated that scene.
It's true. I also oh Ratcatcher. I love her. She's my favorite. I think if James Gunn were to make a sequel to this movie, would he have the same characters or would he just bring on a new Task Force X?
I feel like he has to bring a new task force. I mean, like I still bring Harley Quinn. I feel like maybe Boomerang. Like I feel like we'll
No,
get a
Boomerang's
Boomerang
dead.
gag. I know, but
Another
it's
one?
not even connected to the first one though.
Hmm?
Is this? I thought they're not even connected though.
What do you mean?
I thought this movie.
Yeah, but Boomerang's dead in this one.
Yeah, but they can just bring him back alive in the next one because
How?
they ignored the first movie. They could ignore this movie too.
Yeah, but it would be the same guy directing it.
Yeah, but with more different characters.
I'm saying, like, I don't know. I don't think they'll bring back Boomerang. I mean, there's enough like comic book characters.
Yeah, like the DC slate of characters. Yeah, think it would be a different Task Force X.
Yeah, I think, man, I wonder if they'll ever bring back Deadshot.
Oh yeah, so
Like-
I thought Bloodsport was Deadshot for like the first half hour of the movie, and then they kept
Nope.
calling Bloodsport. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of do the same things. I think there's subtle differences to their character, but like definitely two different characters. I feel like he was enough of his own character that he didn't to me, he didn't feel like a Deadshot like copy.
Yeah, well, like, yeah, I agree. But I was
Yeah.
like, but he operated like Deadshot the entire
it's the kinda
time
same
watching
power
him, and
set.
I was like, oh, okay. So like, because when we found out that Idris Elba was cast, I was like, oh, okay, he's replacing Will Smith as Deadshot, and then that's what I was going off of, and it's like, but he's not Deadshot apparently. But yeah,
Mm-mm.
all right. Well, since you just finished your food, I want to start on my food, so we can end it
Yeah.
here.
Let's do that because I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat and then probably play Control. I'll be surprised if you finish that game because it's been taking me a while.
Yeah, I'm playing Bravely Default 2, and I just got to the. Actually, before we go, this game Bravely Default 2 spoilers. But I thought it did a pretty cool thing where you face the final boss, and then like the one of the main characters ends up like sacrificing her life to seal the villain away, and then the credits roll, and you're like, oh well, that's it. But then what you don't know is that
Mhm.
if you go back into your save file, you find out that whole last scene was actually a vision that they got from the future, and they're like, you have to like, oh, there's another way to seal the final villain. So
What?
I thought it was pretty cool.
Interesting.
The game gives you a fake ending, basically. I
Yeah.
thought it was interesting.
Well,
Pretty
now I'll
cool.
never play that game then.
You weren't gonna play it anyway.
Yeah, no, yeah. But yeah, anyway,
Anyway.
so that brings us to the end of our post show. It was actually pretty long. Like this is actually the longest show we've done in a while because we're coming up on 3 hours. Usually we're done around 2.5 hours. But
Oh shit.
yeah, I guess the post show had a lot of stuff. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, I think I like this format going forward.
I think so too. Let us know in the chat if you like the format, the changes that we made. And yeah, we'll keep trying to listen to feedback and keep getting better, or we'll do our thing.
But yeah. All right, then, guys. We will see you next Saturday, PST at next Saturday at 11 a.m. PST. So thank you for hanging out in the chat, participating, and thank you for watching. And if you like it, one more, follow us on our socials over there. I'm in charge of the Twitter, Gio's in charge of the IG, and what's fun? Likewise,
Yes,
lots
sir.
of information. Yeah, and Super Bass, shout out to you. You took in some of your feedback, and yeah, thank you for that. So yeah, we will see you guys next week on the 1v1 show, Saturday at 11. Peace.
Peace.